Oh, no, you are not allowed. It's streaming now.
It's Borderlands over again.
You are not allowed to do that. Welcome,
Okay.
everyone.
Yeah, sorry for actually doing that the first time. Honestly, it was one of those like I'd had a thought and I wanted to say it, but I didn't want it recorded, and
Mhm.
so
Oh,
suck
you're
it.
good. Yours wasn't like intentionally trolling. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I was
No,
doing.
Nate does this in every multiplayer game I've ever played with you, I think. But most specifically Borderlands, where you have to have like everybody ready to go through a
Right.
checkpoint, and he would back out at the last second or open a menu or something or try to duel us. It was horrible.
Dude, I get it.
You
get
know
it.
when they talk about like games inciting violence in kids? I've never had the game do it to me, but I've had Nate do it to me in a game. Never
Well, to
never
be
wanted
fair,
to
that's why
hit
I
a
never,
man as
ever
much.
play multiplayer games. Like I hate multiplayer games because of people like Nate. No,
Well,
I mean,
Zach can attest to it. I am an annoying little brother. So
Yeah.
there you go.
I mean that's fair. I'm also an older brother, so like I
Mhm.
can tolerate a significant amount of it. But
you're a whole nother level, Apollo.
Mm-hmm. Preach. Anyway, we've been streaming for a while now, so
Yeah.
if you
I
want
mean,
to,
I also wanted to mention on the stream that even though Apollo is annoying as hell, his character is the one that my character seemingly repeatedly latches onto for protection.
yeah,
And,
how about that?
Yeah.
That does seem to be a trend.
Mm-hmm. It's codependence at its finest.
Kind of be interested to see like a psychology paper on like
The relationship,
like D&D and
yeah,
relations.
that's
like,
actually that would be a very interesting study.
If I
I mean,
wasn't so
you'd have
busy,
to
I'd get
run
right on that.
like a ridiculous number of games.
Yeah.
And you'd have to have personal data from everyone who ran it.
Let's crowdfund some grant money and get on it.
Okay.
I mean, it'd be easy.
I'd kickstart that.
Alrighty.
So
We're gonna
hello to
transition
all
from
of our
that.
0 viewers. Hope you're enjoying yourselves.
So, last time we began in the town of Daggerford, and they were having their autumn festival, and you were the guests of honor for seemingly banishing a bunch of werewolves from the town. The town had been.
Can I get some
Yeah.
flavor on the autumn festival? Like
Kind of like a
pumpkin spice. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
oh god,
We got
you
it,
guys
Zach.
are
We
so
did
on
it.
the same page. A+, 10 out of 10. Would watch again.
It's supposed to be like a Thanksgiving harvest festival kind of deal.
Okay.
And yes, you were the guests of honor for banishing werewolves from the land without even encountering a single werewolf. And
Just shows how good we are.
exactly, that's what the townsfolk thought. It's like your mere presence is enough to banish werewolves.
Right. Not all of
These
us
must be
reacted
pretty
to it
fantastic people.
that way, though.
It would just smell bad.
It's part of it. Well, I mean, like, we had some people, such as DJ Doom O'Clock, who believed that and credited himself for everything, and then there were some of us who were just sitting off to the side being like, that was too easy. But...
Okay. The Duchess of Daggerford had approached you during the feast and mentioned that there were some troublesome visitors, unwanted guests at the city gates, and she called them Vistani, which is the D&D version of gypsies, traveling gypsies.
Not even
and-
subtle about it.
Yeah, they are not subtle about it at all. And wherever these Vistani go, misfortune is hot on their heels. And she was just very insistent that you remove them from the city premises. Sorry, excuse me.
Well, it didn't have a permit.
They did not have a permit.
They didn't need a
Yeah.
permit. Remembering all of the wrong details here.
Some of you chose to stay by the gates, while others decided to go party with the Vistani. And they were very receptive to people coming to party with them. And they eventually tried to get as many people in the party together to tell a story of their lord, who was a person they had rescued, a noble warrior who had been gravely injured. They nursed him back to health, and he used his wealth and resources to sort of protect them and give them free passage throughout his lands. But they mentioned that in the years since, he has become a tyrant and a fiend that needs help. And they think that some adventurers, such as yourselves, will be able to help their lord regain his lost humanity. Put his troubled soul to rest, was the direct quote. Now, the party had decided to kind of talk amongst themselves off to the side. However, one party member decided to pickpocket a deck of cards from one of the Vistani. And after a few minutes, this deck of cards began to tremble in his pocket and smell of smoke. And when he pulled it out of his pocket, the cards burst into flame, save 5, which fell into a certain pattern on the ground before disintegrating entirely. Said cards are going to be retconned today. And the Vistani, seeing this, were not pleased at all, and they said they would not be granting you safe passage to their lord's land.
Well, they were bastards, because I won those cards fair and square.
More like, we won't grant them safe passage.
Hey-o, bing, bang, boom.
Passage, but still expect us to follow through.
Yes, exactly. When they had said this, mist seemed to come up out of thin air all around you, really thick, heavy mist. And when it engulfed your group, you lost sight of the world around you except for each other. You were able to see each other perfectly fine, but any trace of the sky, the ground, anything was just mist for several minutes. And when the mist finally dissipated, you realized you were in a woods that was nowhere near where you were standing before the mist appeared. Shortly after you kind of started to regain your bearings, a small nilbog ran through the forest, pursued by werewolves. And the werewolves ran into more than they had bargained for, because they did not expect a group of adventurers to be waiting for them. And so you were able to dispatch of the werewolves and the wolves accompanying them. And during the skirmish, a noble-looking man with a very gaunt appearance and pale flesh, riding on a fiery steed, approached you. He just kind of stared at you, and there was a moment where he looked at Melissa's character kind of a fraction of a second longer than the others, as if there was some sort of recognition that happened. And after looking at all of you and sneering, his steed rose into the air and flew off at great speed. With this encounter over with, you proceeded south a bit, out of the woods, into the town that you see here, the village of Barovia. And you approached from the northern end of this town. And right about here, where I'm pinging, you encountered a gallows just outside town with a corpse. And when you'd gotten close to it, the corpse resembled Velge's character. Like, it looked like an exact duplicate of him. And when you poked the corpse with a stick, it kind of disintegrated into dust and maggots. At that time...
This is something that actually happened?
Yes, this actually happened.
Yeah, I remember that. Okay, yeah.
You proceeded over this direction. And when you got to these crossroads right here, you found an old woman selling pastries. And I'll
Very
show the
very normal encounter.
picture.
Yep,
Uh-huh.
that's her. I remember. Very normal looking lady.
Yeah. Felge had
Yeah.
bought one of these pastries for
And I
one
bought the
gold
rest
piece,
of them.
and Gizmo bought the
No
other
one
19.
seemed to want to buy them from me.
When Felge consumed
I
the
also
pastry,
ate it. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
you lost all awareness of the world around you, and instead you were kind of in this a very, very happy place instead. The complete opposite of Barovia in general.
Tripping his balls
I
off.
do aim to please the GM.
You then heard kind of like a knocking, scratching sound coming from within her cart. And when you opened the cart, a burlap sack fell out, inside of which was a young girl, maybe about 4 years old. There was this real awkward pause between all of you. And I believe you attacked her? Or tried to grab
Somebody
her?
did something aggressive. I don't remember exactly what it
There's
was.
some aggression.
I believe I used my flail.
That's it. Yes. Okay.
That would be aggression.
And the old woman was revealed to be a night hag, and after kind of making some idle threats of "you'll regret that in the future," etc., etc., she vanished into the night.
Well, at least we know they were.
Truly, they were idle threats.
And then lastly, you heard kind of a weird yelp / shout coming from E5 over here on a building, church-looking building on top of a hill overlooking the village. And that's where we had stopped. Did I miss anything? I think that's everything.
Yeah, I think.
So
that's
anyone want a
pretty
kid in a bag?
much it.
Are you selling it for?
Come on in, the water's fine.
Wait, no. Let me guess. It's a package deal. You get the kid, but you also get 19 pastries.
It's true.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to give this kid the pastries. She looks.
Oh,
hungry.
that's
no.
no, bud.
We're the worst
bad
of
paladin.
person.
Bad.
Change his alignment right now.
I'm not looking good.
How do you give the child a pastry? Like, how do you go about this?
Doing drugs. You're terrible.
Like, is it just shove it into her mouth, or do you
No.
like hand it to her?
No, I say you look hungry and you look thirsty. Can I give you some food and some drink?
She shrieks in terror and slaps the pastry away from you.
She probably knows what those are.
Mm-hmm.
Made of her parents or something.
Oh
I barely
gosh.
know what they are, but they're great.
Yeah, Feld, you're still you're not as like you're not tripping as hard anymore. We'll put it that way. But you're still feeling pretty great. Like you're kind of
no,
you're aware of your
crashing.
surroundings again.
Okay. All right.
The screams of children sobered him up.
Yeah, really so. In that case, I want to. Sorry, I gotta look at the characters list. Wait, did we not have any girls in this campaign?
We do not have any girls. Well, Hep
Hep
Hep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Half
Half
up. Yep. Half up zero.
Yeah.
Probably
I'm gonna
not
go
like
Dab
using
and just like start touching her face.
What now?
Yeah. Why?
I'm equating these dream pastries to ecstasy.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to RP ecstasy.
I gotcha.
She shrieks again and begins beating on the door to one of the nearby houses. And there's no response from the house.
Which
No,
house?
little girl. You didn't.
We'll say this little one right here.
I mean, it doesn't look like she knew that house. It was just anybody around, right? Or did it look like she was
Yeah,
purposely
she just
going
kind of
to that
bolted for
house?
the nearest house.
I see. Okay.
And then as you look at this house, it looks very like it's dilapidated, boarded up windows, all that kind of fun stuff. And after a few seconds of no response from whoever's inside the house, if anyone, she kind of, curls up into a ball and just quietly sobs to herself.
Yeah. It's probably a good decision.
I start like feeling the air move as I move my arms through it, and feel like unique ripples through the air as I do it that I've never really seemed to notice before.
Isn't that what they said was possibly what Van Gogh was experiencing
when he painted Starry Nights?
Yeah. Anyway, I'm very confused. Like I have an emotional intellect of like -5, so I don't know what's happening to this girl. I feel sad that she looks as weak as she does, but that's about it. Like I'm not processing it as like, oh, I need to, be, what do you call it? Like comforting or anything like that. I see it as kind of like a weak animal that has lost its mother, or something like that. But she's crying still, right?
Yes.
Will someone please stop that child from crying?
There, little girl. Do you want a drink at least?
She sniffles and looks up at you.
I take a tiny little teacup from my pack. It looks like, from the size of it, it might have been from a child's tea set. It is stained with blood.
Oh. Wait, this was your random item, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. And I pour out some water from my flask for her.
It's dark. She doesn't see the blood on the cup, so she drinks the water.
Oh my gosh. Okay, what disease did she get from it? At least tell us that.
Hey, I'm a paladin.
Did you purify it?
I'm not high enough level to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Like it still had blood on it, and I'm asking what diseases was in that blood, or what diseases were in that blood that she could now be contracting.
We'll find out.
Oh, bud.
She kind of looks up at you with big eyes and just kind of stammers out, "Who are you?"
Oh, see, we didn't actually know that she spoke common. That's good to know.
My name is Zell.
She kind of looks frantically around and asks in the same kind of terrified voice, "Is she gone?"
Well, yes, she has departed. Quite suddenly, too.
She looks around again and says, "Can you take me home? I'm lost."
Well, that's what you get for hiding away in old ladies' carts.
Got her.
Yes, of course we can take you home, little girl. Where do you live?
She kind of thinks for a minute and says, the big house."
Does she mean jail?
The big house. Oh, I get what you mean. But I mean, is she pointing in a specific direction?
No.
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 Child, you'll need to be much more specific.
What does that mean?
I cannot do this. I will not converse with this thing.
Boss, we know where we are, right? Like we've passed a sign that says we're in Barovia.
The Vistani told you of Barovia being the land of their lord and stuff, and yeah, there's probably been a sign somewhere that says Barovia.
No, we made intelligence checks or something.
Yeah, that's right.
Because Melissa and I had background with that.
Yes, that's right. Yes, so you do know you're in the village of Barovia.
In Barovia.
Yes.
A little one.
Anyway, so in this current area you're in, you do see, kind of through the buildings, like the alleyways here, there is a very large building here with lights on, coming from inside. It looks a little more well kept up than the other houses around you.
But the big house doesn't mean the biggest house. It just means a bigger house than the rest of the houses.
That's deep, man.
Summon bigger house.
In other words, a local maximum, not a...
Okay, so what we have to do now is go adventure and buy a lyre of whatever and give it to our bard to build a ridiculously huge house.
Find someone that can cast Mordenkainen's magnificent mansion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like in Curse of the Crimson Oak, whatever.
We had properties every 10 miles
Mm-hmm.
in Cinderlands.
That was one of my favorite uses of that spell. We were just like, all right, let's just build a house. No big deal. We'll just settle here for a minute.
That whole Cinderlands adventure was probably my favorite part.
It was amazing. Oh my god.
That lyre of building was the best investment I've ever made.
But really, when you look at it too, like the amount of houses that were developed and then the amount of real estate land that was purchased, that was really like takeaway from that campaign was, hey guys, we're developers now.
Mm-hmm.
The overthrow of a queen by real estate developers.
All of you here coming from E5 once again, a kind of a sound.
Oh yeah, we should probably go look at that.
But what of the child?
Yeah.
Child, do you even come from Barovia?
What's a Barovia?
Okay, we need to protect this child, and we will get her home eventually, but that scream really needs to be tended to.
It's true. Would you mind hopping back into this sack?
Oh my
God. Oh, the trauma.
Nicely.
Years
and years of therapy that it's going to take to get this child over.
Okay, because my
slightly
devilish
we have
demeanor,
on video that Zach propositioned a child to hop into a sack.
Mm-hmm.
He did.
I
He
would
did.
like to point out that my Annie Cranberry line is no longer the worst that has been said to a child.
I'm so happy for you.
Of course, we all know what the sack means in Britain.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Good thing we're in Barovia.
So I've been rather hesitant to approach this child just because of how devilish my whole body is. But with the verbal abuses that this child is receiving at the hands of my friends, I'm gonna go ahead and step in here, and I'm gonna tell this girl, all right, sorry about these crazy fools. I'm going to make sure that you're all right, you see? And my friend here is going to take care of you. Just one second.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed your message earlier. Yes, you could do that kind of check.
I wasn't sure if it'd be like medicine or insight or perception.
Do medicine, yeah.
Can I have advantage because I've partied lots and...
Because you've partied a lot? Is that what you said?
Yeah. Partied lots, drugs.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go for it.
Well, they have a plus
All
2
right.
if I really wanted to argue for that. Hey! 20's not bad.
And your first roll,
Wow.
look at it.
Okay.
That's significantly better than not bad.
Let's see here.
He's tripping on.
Yes. You're not 100% sure of you do know that whatever he just consumed was some sort of magic hallucinogen. Like it was not just the physical attributes of this pastry that caused the effect. There's something magically imbued into it.
Okay, so they're enchanted laced pastries.
Yes, and you have memories of a very wild night many years ago, maybe while you were in magic bard school or so. You're not bard, never mind.
Not a bard, I'm a sorcerer.
And sorcerer
Right?
school.
Who does it?
I did not attend sorcerer school, that is the point of my character.
But you have vivid memories of having tried something similar like this before.
Okay, so once I figure, I will tell my party members that the pastries are in fact laced with magic. Because that's basically what it is. They're just enchanted to be crazy.
Okay. I'm gonna summon my babysitter now.
Okay.
Slim
You can do
Shady,
that.
so maybe 1280. Don't keep these fools waiting. Invisible, not missable. His words inadmissible. Bout to put these fools down. Paint the streets red and brown. Count your lives quickly ended when Were Thug come around.
All
All
right.
right, homie. All right, homie, better take care
DJ
of this
Were
child
Thug.
quick.
I thought you said you couldn't do the lyrics. That was impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have diminishing energy as the night goes on. But yeah. All right, cool guy. We're gonna do a little different thing here. We're going to work on keeping this small one alive for as long as possible. You got it?
Can it talk?
I really don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't see. Okay. Alrighty.
We didn't recover any spells, correct?
No, you've not rested at all.
Thankfully, all of my spells are practically useless except in Rat Battle.
Well, let's be fair. That's the most valuable skill we have going.
Yeah.
All right, we're good to go on to Scream.
E5.
Okay.
And are we going this way?
He coming with us?
Or do you want to go a different way?
DJ Werethug will follow
Will
us.
take me
at a
by the
short distance.
hand and guide me wherever we need to go because I can't follow.
Okay.
Oh wait, did the medicine heal me?
No.
That was just
Basically-
identify, right?
Right. Yeah, it was just to
Oh.
identify what it was.
Okay, never mind.
This description doesn't quite match. It's odd. Anyway, you make your way up the hill towards this church. The church has obviously weathered the assaults of evil for centuries on end and is worn and weary. A bell tower rises toward the back, and flickering light shines through holes in the shingled roof. The rafters strain feebly against their load. And you come up to two large doors that lead into the church, and you can kind of see that behind the church is a very large graveyard. And as you approach the doors, you all hear
Yeah.
again, coming from the west side of the church on the outside.
Oh.
Does it sound humanoid or animal?
More animal than anything else.
I'll walk to the western side.
We'll go
All right.
Yeah, I'll be in front mostly, but also hugging corners just to make sure that it doesn't have vision on us before we have vision on it.
Make sure they feel loved and accepted.
Yeah, all that.
As you're making your way around the outside of the building, you come to like a cellar door that's been heavily padlocked.
But it's coming from the cellar door.
Yes, you hear another one of these shrieks come from the cellar door, followed by a "Father, I'm hungry!"
Oh dear.
Check or anything to see if I would recognize the animalistic shriekings?
What check?
Or it would be like a nature or an or
Sure, nature would work.
With my 11,
um,
my knowledge.
with an 11, you're not entirely sure. It sounds like a weird mixture of human and beast.
That's a creepy ass scream.
Hey, what about with
Well
an
assessed.
11?
I'll kind of like put an arm out to back everybody up so that we're out of earshot of that thing. So they can't hear us. I don't care if we can hear it again. And I guess I'll say, should we wait and see if its father shows up, or destroy it now?
Father, I can smell them.
Okay.
Close. Oh, so very close.
I mean, I'm kind of enjoying listening. He might have more information to give. You never know.
Ooh,
Certainly better than
wait.
breaking and entering.
Somebody pretend to be the pastry lady.
You think that's his father?
No, but to impersonate the pastry lady to see what it says and maybe throw him off the scent, as it were.
How do you smell like a pastry lady, though?
No, never mind.
Pastries.
Why, ho, 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 I'm the pastry lady.
Please tell me you just said that in character.
Yes, I did.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Make a performance roll.
A performance roll, huh?
Ah.
Why, ho, 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 I'm the pastry lady.
There's kind of a silence from the cellar, and it's followed by a, "She comes with food. Food, yes. Very good. Many food here. Oh, I can smell the blood."
Give him some pastries.
The door's locked.
To give it
I know.
pastry.
Well, is there any play in the door? Like where you could slide
Not
something
really.
in? I
It
assume
looks like
this
whoever
is...
locked this up was very thorough.
Okay.
Your door appears to be locked.
Yes, let me out. Let me out. Oh, I'm so hungry.
What do you want to eat?
There's kind of a loud bang on the cellar door, and the voice just shrieks, "Blood! I can hear it. I want it. Give it to me.
All right, we're killing this thing, right?
You got my vote, homie.
There's a kind of a shout behind you, just a stop, and a very weathered old man. I have a picture of him here.
Oh, okay.
In a priest's garment, is walking around the side of the church the way you came.
He's definitely evil.
And he
can see
has a very stern, he looks exactly like that right now. And he says, please, stop, come away from the door, please.
You have a bloodthirsty thing in here. You're aware of
that? Yes, come inside. I shall explain myself.
Can we not explain right here?
I don't want to explain right here. There's a child right over there.
So we're gonna leave the child outside?
We're not leaving the child outside.
In response, you hear from the cellar again, Father, there's so much. Brought me food. I knew you would bring me food, Father. And the priest's face, it's hard to tell, but his face does get slightly more strained as he listens to the voice. He says, please, come inside.
Do you, sir, know the owner of that particular voice?
Make a persuasion roll.
I was gonna make an insight check, if at all possible, to see if he was trying to lure us away.
Sure.
Nope. Oh my
god. So you can tell he's very insistent that you come inside. There doesn't appear to be anything like deceptive about it.
Okay.
But please, it would be best if we spoke inside, away from the noise.
I'll nod and just follow him wherever he leads us.
Wherever he leads us, that's where we're going with this.
If it's into a church,
there's a lot of us.
Yeah, I'm not too worried at this point. Like, we haven't been shown anything that we can't handle yet, so I'm not too worried about one guy leading us into a church.
Okay.
You can be, and you can try to stop the group if you'd like. I'm saying, as my character, I wouldn't have too many qualms with following what appears to be a man of God into a church. But I'm kind of a trusting person that way, I guess, and...
Okay. I'm going to move you onto the church map.
I mean, let's make sure that everybody... It doesn't have to be every single person going inside.
Feel free to drag your tokens onto the map to show who's going inside and who's not. The X marks the trap door, or the cellar door.
We're big.
There's no grid on here because the maps had a grid, so... yeah.
There's a rope.
Yeah, I don't know why that's called out specifically on the map like that.
Is it for a bell?
Yes, let me read the description here. So the doors open to reveal a 10-foot wide, 20-foot long hall leading to a brightly lit chapel. The hall is unlit and reeks of mildew. 4 doors, 2 on each side of the hall, lead to adjacent chambers. You can see that the chapel is strewn with debris, and you hear a soft voice coming from the priest, who's reciting a prayer as he walks in. And then as you're hearing this prayer happen, another shriek comes from outside. Father, come back!
Wait, can I make some type of check, or can any of us make some type of check to determine the religion?
Yes, absolutely.
And what prayer? Yeah, he's saying.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Apparently, that's not my thing, even though.
With a 20.
It's not your thing, even though you have a -1 in it. Interesting.
You recognize the symbols of the Morning Lord kind of strewn about.
Is this O or OU?
Morning as in dawn.
Okay.
Otherwise known as Lathander. And I'm going to double check this just to make sure I've got this correct.
Yeah, I'm also, I guess, looking for alignment.
You would know he's a neutral good god, domain of life and light.
Okay.
Creativity, dawn, renewal, birth, etc., etc.
I am totally fine with this. And I'll whisper that. I'll whisper that to the rest of the group.
Doesn't really appear that the church has been kept in good upkeep, though.
Well, one man can only do so much.
And he leads you into the actual chapel area in the back, and you just see the chapel is in total shambles, overturned, broken pews, dust everywhere. There's a lot of candles that are lit kind of everywhere. It looks like the priest is you get the sense that the priest is just following a ritual to keep his own sanity, not so much for the the mood of the chapel or anything like that. At the far end of the church, you see a claw-scarred altar, and next to or behind the altar is a long, thick rope stretching up to the bell tower. And the priest turns around and says, "I am Father Donovich. This used to be the chapel of Lathander here in Barovia." He gestures and says, "As you can see, we've fallen on very, very hard times." And the moment he finishes the sentence, you hear another scream again, and he winces slightly and says, "The voice you hear is what remains of my son Doru. The devil Strahd took my son, and to mock me, turned him into whatever creature is now locked underneath my chapel.
And though you recognize it to no longer be your son, you do not have the strength to destroy it."
He shakes his head and says, "How could I? I can't. It's my son. Even if it is a monster, whenever I look at it, I see my son. I hear my son's voice crying to me every night. I can't just kill it."
Is this a vampire?
He shakes his head and says, I know it thirsts for blood. I think it's just some horrific spawn of this vampire.
Spawn of a vampire. Can I do a knowledge check or something to see if that would be undead?
Sure, absolutely.
What sort?
Let's do. Let me think. Would that be Arcana?
Oh, you dear.
Yeah.
I'd say either Arcana or like maybe
religion.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Or even history.
History?
Uh-huh.
Well, I have a -1 in each of them, so here goes.
I can do history.
Okay, 11. Yeah, that's not bad. 16's better. You know that you've heard stories of vampires that will often create vampire spawn, which are just lesser vampires that function similarly but have nowhere near the power and are under the total control of the vampire that spawned them.
But definitely undead.
Definitely have become undead, yes.
So
I've heard enough.
Yeah, I mean, I have too. I guess the question is there actually anything left of his son in that undead form?
Where are you going? Come back. What are you doing? No, don't. Not yet. No, I'm not ready.
You will never be ready. You are weak.
he's like stumbling after you and like, wait, no. Father, they have come back.
I'll pull out my glaive. It's a glaive, right? I have a glaive.
I'll pull out my magic electric guitar and start playing "Oh Say Can You."
Oh.
Father, open that door.
At this, make a. Would you like to do an intimidation or a persuasion?
Ooh. I think in this situation I want to be intimidating.
Okay.
Can I assist to give him advantage?
Oh my god.
You can use some inspiration to reroll that if you would like.
Do it.
I used my GM inspiration last session.
Oh, come on.
Don't worry about it.
I was seriously trying to assist. Like before he failed it, I was trying to.
I mean, I could walk it either way.
This is I don't know how to add expertise to this, but I get a +3 to what?
Oh.
Whoa.
Let's just use his, maybe.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. He is after seeing like all of you, like, you know, big tough warriors here to cleanse the land of evil, etc., etc., and he's pushed over the edge with your intimidation and says, "Yes, fine, I'll open it. Do what you must. I can't bear to look." And he hands you, well, he'll turn the key into the locks and take off the lock.
Already in action.
Begins moving away. You've also noticed that the moment the key started turning in the lock, whatever was inside went dead quiet.
Yep. I'm gonna, whenever it comes out, I'm gonna go for the head. I'm gonna just try to take its head off.
Okay.
What? Yes, Melissa?
Another option would be everybody stands back and I just his head.
Yeah, and that's totally fine too. I have reach, so I can stay a distance away, and if whatever your ready to action fails, I can have a backup to still hit it before it gets in range of us. Is that an okay plan?
It is. Are we all backing up, or should we all stay here?
Yeah, I mean, if you communicate that, I'll back up.
I'm already backed up. Front is not for me. Yeah.
As
Father,
you're preparing,
you might want to get inside.
As you're preparing, you notice that it's no longer quite as dark as it used to be. You think it's probably getting close to dawn.
Even
sky
better.
Is still completely overcast, like not a ray of the sun to be seen. But it is getting lighter outside.
That's good. That works in our favor for vampires.
Mm-hmm.
So the father rushes back inside, and you all stand ready. And
how far back do you want us to be, Melissa?
Fireball's a 20-foot radius. But I mean, I could also just not fireball, and we could go into melee with him, and that way.
I mean, that's what I default to. Just that's my character. But if you'd like it to be another way, we can do that too. I was just trying to get everybody on the same page.
A trap. It's a trap. No, they can't lure me out. No. Tasty morsels think they're so clever.
Great. Can I fireball it down into the cellar?
Oh, gosh.
If someone were to open the door and you could cast fireball almost immediately afterwards, sure.
I will open the door for you. Just don't miss.
I will cast fireball.
Okay, you open the door, and you see a stairway going down about 10 feet We'll just reveal it on the other side. It won't hurt. But it won't really matter much. There's a stairway leading down 10 feet. And at the bottom of the stairs, as you cast Fireball, this is the only thing you see in that split second.
Yep.
Well done.
Yeah, Dora sees a fireball coming.
There's a shriek, a burst of light, and then silence and darkness.
Wow, look at all those sixes. I'm definitely one to confirm the kill. So after it all dissipates, I'll kind of like start walking down the stairs. Like, I'll put myself like halfway down here.
Yeah. Sure.
See what remains.
You see a pile of ashes.
Do I see anything else?
Let me see. You see rotting wooden pillars.
Oh, good thing we almost set those on fire.
You see cracks in the ceiling, which would be the chapel floor above you. You can see kind of candlelight filtering down, but you don't see anything else. Oh, you also see plenty of scratch marks on the pillars, on the back of the door or the cellar door. Yeah, looks like whatever was in here was just trying to shred down the pillars, basically.
Gotcha.
And there's like nothing left.
Yeah, that was that.
Just ashes.
Just ashes. The deed has been done.
Ashes to ashes.
Dust to
Dust.
dust.
Oh, I'm sorry. There is one thing.
Ooh.
You see a moldy old chest in the southwest corner of the room.
Hey,
Is he actually there? Is the father at the top of the stairs now?
No. From where you're standing, you can hear
Or that's not
quiet. You can hear quiet
Yeah,
weeping.
that's not me.
That's
coming from the chapel.
That's me, not the father.
I know, I'm dumb.
Yes, you are dumb.
Am I dumb enough to apologize to a glass though? Who knows?
Hey, dude, that's happened to everyone.
No, it hasn't.
It's never happened to you.
I don't think I have verbally apologized to a glass before. Anyway,
You've never
apologized to my
apologized to
glass
an
and to my
inanimate
keyboard
object.
and
You've
to my
never
phone.
bumped into a chair and said, "I'm sorry" before.
not that I can remember. It's very possible that it's happened. I was just trying to get at Nate a little. That's fine.
Well, you know, Mason,
No,
maybe
you're a
you
bad
just don't
person.
care enough about other people.
Exactly.
That's
There we
true.
go.
You don't have a natural
Glasses are
reflex
people
to
too.
apologize when you have
Justice
made
for
mistakes
glasses.
personally.
It's your fault, Mason.
I'm fairly
Mason,
certain Nate's had enough.
I bet you voted for Trump.
Oh, whoa,
Here we go.
whoa.
Guys, stop demonetizing us.
Yeah.
Because we were making so much
Demonetizing?
money off of those advertisements.
Yep.
Every week somebody re-demonetizes us.
Well,
after
once
all my
no,
work.
he's saying once we get famous and then we make these videos public, they're obviously going to get millions of views, and we would like some ad revenue from that. I get it. I get it. Obviously.
You know, by then he'll be out of office and everyone will thumbs up that shit.
Okay, so I'll walk down
Come back
to
to bite me in the butt when I run for president.
yeah.
You voted
which
for Nixon. You
which
commie.
corner did you say it was in?
Southwest corner.
Okay, so I'll
Yeah.
I'll walk down there and I'll see if it's actually kind of like rotting away or something. I'll just try to kick it open,
Okay, go for it.
like with a strength check or
Yeah.
okay,
that's
hang
right.
on. Actually, can I try to put my glaive in the gap and then just twist and see if it
Sure.
comes out? Would that also be strength?
No. You wouldn't need to make a check for that, really.
Okay.
So when you kind of rotate the glaive, the blade like just slices through the wood.
Yeah.
Like this wood is just completely falling apart, and the whole chest just creaks and falls apart, and into a pile of rubble.
Is there anything
Broken wood
amongst the rubble of interest?
Yes. Roll a D100.
Oh dear.
Those are always fun.
It's a 10.
10. A 10. Okay.
An immovable rod.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
Immovable rods are the best.
They ruin everything.
They
I don't
do!
wanna talk about it.
It's the most game-breaking item, or one of the most game-breaking items that I can think of.
Second. I need to see if this actually can fit in the box that I described. Oh boy. What is this?
Turns out the box is an extra dimensional space.
This is a... Okay, it's... You see what appears to be a maul, a hammer maul kind of thing.
Oh, I was hoping for the other kind.
A Darth Maul jumps out.
No, just the shopping mall.
A hot topic, and Spencer's, and
It looks like this.
Oh, shoot.
Oh,
No.
that has faces
Hello.
on it.
That's baller.
Is that
Smash
dwarven?
me with a
Ki-
face.
Who asked if it's dwarven?
That would be me, the dwarf.
If you want to look at it and do an intelligence check.
So
I would absolutely like to.
it's kind of driving me nuts. That golden ring on the side, it kind of looks like it's just like exposed brains in the center.
It
Oh my God,
does.
it does.
So,
Yeah.
would you have advantage because you're dwarven?
Well,
Yeah,
I
think
rolled
that
a
would be fair.
19, so I think I'm
Yeah,
good.
but you can
be
always do
fair.
better.
Yeah, but my bonus is
Um,
+1.
Yeah, but
so-
you could always roll a natural 20.
Okay, well, whatever.
I don't see anything explicitly calling it out as dwarven.
Okay.
It's dwarven. I claim it as my own.
So it's yours, and therefore it is dwarven because you
Yes.
were a dwarf. Oh, I see, I see, I
I
see.
mean, honestly, the intelligence check should have been a DC 2 because, like,
It's beard.
there's no possible way anyone in the world could mistake that for anything not dwarven.
It's totally dwarven.
Hmm.
Well,
And you know what? That belongs to me now. I'm putting it in my inventory.
Is it your birthright somehow?
Yes.
That since you're dwarven,
You know
anything
what? I'm a
that
noble. I
anything
deserve
hang
this
on.
thing.
Anything that you see and you think looks maybe dwarven, even though the book doesn't say it's dwarven, it's yours. Outright,
Yeah,
no
but-
conversation.
Castle looks big.
Oh
Fight
my
about
gosh.
that? Are you gonna be the party killer this time?
Oh my gosh.
what if I told you that's
familiar
supposed to be a giant, not a dwarf, depicted?
I
Well,
would tell you you're wrong.
you know what? Screw you. It's mine. It's dwarven.
Can I wait. As he comes forward, I put my arm out,
Uh-huh.
and just like put it on his forehead. You know, since I have long arms and he's a very short person, he can't hit me.
Excuse me.
And then
You're
I
gonna lose your arm.
I know. Hang on. I hold up the maul, and it's literally twice as tall as him.
You know what? Fuck you. I
Actually, I want you to have it.
Also,
No, Nate,
leverage.
I want you to have it so you can hold it at the end and
The
spin
law
around in a
also
circle.
creates a larger amount of force to bear down upon your enemy.
Anyway,
Some
yeah,
moves once.
I'd love you to go into battle and just like hold it by the end and start spinning around at full speed.
Oh, that'd be fantastic.
And just hitting as many people as you can. But it is a large thing, right? Like it has to be pretty big.
Would anyone like to make a knowledge arcana check to see if they can identify this thing?
Sure, that sounds good.
Nope.
By good, I
I
mean
would,
Nope.
but I don't care.
Nope.
It's just mine.
Nope.
Would anyone like to use inspiration? There we go.
Oops, I
Sparty
still-
with 15, you know what this thing is.
I did not want to use my inspiration. To oh, I was still an advantage by accident.
Yeah, well,
Well,
Three.
unless you
Can't-
want that 3.
I will take the 3. I'm not wasting my advantage on something shit I don't want to know.
Okay, nobody knows what it is.
Father, what is
Hooray.
this?
You hear only sobbing coming from the boards.
yeah,
of-
okay.
Knock
I
on the
guess
door.
it's time to go
That is all
help.
no.
I mean, we could go beat it out of him with our new maul.
You
Father,
adapt
I
with-
would like to inquire. What happened to your other son?
My other what?
Other son.
Well, I thought you had many.
He's not Father Abraham.
But
He had
his-
many
but the-
sons.
But the
Many
cadence was
sons
just
had
so
Father
perfect.
Abraham.
Excuse me. He shakes his head and says, "My other children and my wife are all buried in the graveyard."
Way to bring up a sore subject.
I am sorry for your many losses.
I guess now I'll have to bury my final son.
What? No, we'll.
That's
I'll
not
need to
necessary.
retrieve his body.
Are there no more women
little
in this
difficult.
land?
Our part of our services includes the burial. Do not worry about that, Father.
Wait, why are we making that promise? It's ashes.
Cremation at
he's
no
not
extra.
gonna know it's
Yeah,
there.
cremation at no extra charge.
Oh, tonight is special.
Yeah.
It sure is.
Oh boy.
Okay. So
Your son is at peace now. You'd do well to dwell on that. Blah blah blah.
yes, I suppose I should thank you.
Yes, you should.
In the cellar, locked away, is a very, very old family heirloom.
Ooh,
That's all I can give you.
And you kept this down with vampire spawn?
Well, I couldn't exactly go down to retrieve it at any point.
Well, what is this heirloom?
He kind of scratches his head and says, I know it's magical, but I've never been one for weapons. Just please take it and leave me." And he says, I really should see to the burial rites of my son. It is what the Morning Lord would want.
Oh crap.
We wish you the best of luck of that. We gotta go.
Those rights are your rights. So we'll be right off.
Do you all make haste away from the
Yes.
church? Okay.
How's that babysitter doing?
He's probably fine.
Who's babysitting?
DJ Werethog.
Oh.
As you all make your way away from the church, you hear kind of a new wail of grief a few minutes later, or like a minute later.
That a little girl with a pet that a ghost that she can't even see was babysitting her.
She's better than you fuckers.
Ooh.
Well,
wow.
it just so happens that when you return, she is staring very, very intently at the
No.
space where your unseen guardian would be occupying.
That's creepy.
That's terrifying.
Secretly Satan.
We probably, before we torched his son, should have asked the good father about her.
Oh yeah, could have asked if he had a daughter.
Or if
He said
just...
all of his children were dead.
And buried.
Girl is evil.
I will detect
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Sure.
divine sense on her.
Okay.
I would like to know if she's secretly Satan and we're just really in a bad situation.
Was the werehag escorting Satan in her
Um,
carriage?
I'm gonna be upset if we accidentally saved Satan. Like, I hate it when that happens. I don't want that to be how this night.
I hate it when that happens. As though you've saved Satan before. And every time you just be like, "Oh shucks, he got me again." Oh man. I hate it when that happens.
You do not detect any of the above creatures.
Yes, my life is basically the plot of the TV show Supernatural. That's really what.
Which is one of the best shows ever made. No, I'm on season like 13 or whatever. Like one of the best shows ever made.
I watched the first 5 and thought it was good.
Oh, you gotta persevere. It gets so much better.
Anyway.
Yeah, I heard it gets bad for a while and then gets better.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
Oh, you're wrong.
Boss, your campaign sucks.
Yeah, you do not detect any of the above creatures. Or any consecrated or desecrated ground.
It's a very specific response, boss, and I don't know how I feel about it.
Right?
I am answering what the spell is asking.
Creatures or any desecrated or consecrated ground.
Paladin here. Do I detect any strong evil?
No.
Okay.
Said strong. Rephrase it. Take strong out.
I wish I could, but that's what the class feature says. Strong evil registers
evil and good,
as
so
obnoxious odor,
do I
powerful good,
detect
rings, like heavenly music.
You get the general sense of the evil stemming from land itself, but not this girl in front of you.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you ready to go home now, girl?
What? Oh, yeah. Yeah. And she goes back to staring at the invisible thing.
Wait.
What are you looking at there?
Oh, my friend.
Your friend, huh?
What's his name?
Oh, I don't know.
Can't be much of a
She just seems to get distracted immediately every time.
I go stand where she's looking.
She tries to like look around you.
I try and stay her field of vision.
Hey, you best not be messing with my boy Space there, you know what I'm saying?
She's like, why? Why can't you? Why are you trying to stand between me and?
Yeah, you want to finish that thought?
She says, I need to go now.
Whoa, go where?
And she turns and starts walking rather briskly this way.
Wait, what?
Good.
That's weird. Yeah, I'm following that.
Yeah.
She comes to the crossroads here, and it's definitely morning now, and some of the townspeople are making their way out of the buildings.
Wait, people actually live here?
Yes, indeed.
Can't you see the smoke, Melissa?
Have a picture of how joyous and wonderful these people look.
Oh.
So joyous.
Uh-huh.
Are they real?
When they catch sight of you, they just kind of stop what they were doing. Like they stop walking and just stare at you.
Well, when I catch sight of these joyous people, I can't help but smile myself.
Is this
I kind of like Drunk Apollo.
Who doesn't?
Is this Avatar meets the Addams family right here?
That's really what it is.
They're so blue and they're so...
They're so blue, they don't know what to do.
Hey, what's wrong with blue? Blue is good.
I mean,
the girl starts walking this way towards the center of the village.
Nah.
Still following her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, following.
Okay. She turns left and stands at the front of this building, on which is kind of a small sign. Looks very worn, but it says "Blood of the Vine Tavern."
Blood of the Vine Tavern.
Yes.
I wonder if they want any meat pies.
She stops, looks up at the tavern door, turns around to look at you, and points to the door and says, "They're in there."
Who's they?
They're waiting for you.
Not an answer.
Bye.
Okay,
Well, come back. Who is they? Who is they? I will follow her.
Taverns have beer and ale. I'll go in.
Oops, I mixed E1 and E2 together. She was pointing at E2.
Oh.
And that is the Big Vine Tavern.
Tell me who they is.
She then starts.
Ooh, wait, hang on.
Tell me who they is.
What were you saying, Smarty?
Shouted, "Tell me who they is" with a 28 persuasion roll. Tell me who they is.
She looks at you, tilts her head, and says, "I don't know."
Wow.
And that is exactly what's wrong with today's youth.
Yeah, seriously.
They don't know who they is.
If you don't know who people are, then don't say vague shit like that, please.
Exactly.
You said a bad word.
You know what? Fuck you.
Whoa. Whoa.
I take out my swear can and I hold it and kind of cough at Sparty and Apollo, or as your
As you say these curse words in Barovia, your skin begins to blacken with no.
What?
What?
What is that?
That's okay
Can
with
you
me.
repeat it again?
Like your skin begins to blacken, and your veins turn from like a bluish color to dark.
Okay, so confirmed TPK next week.
If he holds out a swear jar at me, I'd look at him and say, "Oh, this coming from the guy who asked the little girl to get back in a sack."
Seriously. So I did it without swearing.
So wait, where's she headed?
Technical about that.
Where's she headed now?
Walking to E1.
Which does that have any signage?
It does. It says, "Oh God, this name, Bildrath's Mercantile." I don't know what kind of name Bildrath
And
is.
does she just like walk in?
She just walks in.
What the heck?
As she walks in, she turns around and looks at nothing in particular and waves, says bye.
All right, Were Thug, you're done. I'll end this spell.
Yeah, I feel like your unseen servant is to blame here. He really messed that girl up.
Hey man, he's made for not babysitting. He's made for like helping me mess people.
Then why'd you choose him for babysitting?
Because nobody else was going to like secure that girl's.
Secure that girl's what?
Right.
That was a very odd way of phrasing that. I admit, but everybody else was just like, "Hey, get in this bag, you little thing." I didn't trust anybody but my own unseen servant, who has a very long history of not baby.
Well done.
Now that she's out of our hair, let's go to the tavern.
I'm fine with the tavern.
I guess.
You all are pretty tired at this point. You've been up all night. You've had a busy night, and yeah, you haven't gotten any rest since the festival.
Yeah, I can feel it. I'm all for the tavern.
I guess.
Let's go to that tavern and get some food, and more importantly, some
Oh,
alcohol.
you want some food?
Oh my gosh.
Okay. A single shaft of light thrusts illumination into the main square. Oh, that's if you're arriving at night.
Are we not?
No,
You're
it's
arriving in the morning.
Not nighttime.
Okay.
Inside the tavern, it's 60 feet square. There's a blazing fire in the hearth, but it doesn't really give a whole lot of warmth. There's just a real heavy coolness to the air. But you do see a group of Vistani all sitting around a table and drinking very early in the morning. In the corner, you see kind of a grim-faced man wearing a leather jacket and has a sword at his hip. And he watches you enter, but doesn't really get up to say anything, or he just kind of stares at you.
I stare back at him.
He kind of inclines his head towards you, but doesn't say anything.
I incline my head back at him.
Do the people in this establishment look like the people we just saw milling around outside? Like, also
aside from the
lifeless...
Vistani, yes. There are just these soulless-looking people sitting inside. And when you enter, you have, like, this vibrance to you, all that they are not used to. Everything they are used to is very drab and melancholy, and there's just this life about you that just is too weird and different to them, and they just stare at you.
Okay, so this town is entirely populated by D&D gypsies and sad avatar people.
What are they drinking? Maybe it's in the water or something.
The Vistani are drinking wine. The other people looks like just water.
Who goes into a bar just to drink water? These people really don't have souls.
The man in the corner, after he takes a minute to like kind of look at all of you, kind of waves you over.
I would like to appraise his equipment, his value.
Let me give you a picture.
What kind of person is he? Is he rich?
Well, he's not blue.
Is he basically on my level, or is he below me?
He's got a name called the Lesser. He's below you.
Yeah. I mean, just looking at him, I wouldn't say that he's a blue blood.
Do perception.
Well, I would be happy to.
That's performance.
Yeah, my bad.
So you begin performing in the tavern, and you get boos from everybody because it was only a 19. With a 19,
those TERs look all the same.
He's definitely cut from a finer cloth than the rest of this village. But you're probably better than he is as far as equipment and skill.
Oh, okay, I ignore him.
Okay.
Does he look like someone that would be fun to party with?
Make a perception.
I want to know where this is going. There it is.
Okay. Looking at him, he's probably never been to a party in his life. But
so he needs to be initiated into the life of the party.
Exactly. You have kind of a gut feeling that he would be the life of the party.
I go up to him and I greet him with a hearty... I don't know where that sentence was going. I greet him.
You greet him with a heart. Okay.
Greet him with a hearty sup.
Oh, hearty hello. And I immediately order the two of us around.
He says, no, please, allow me.
Oh, no, that is not... friend would I be if I let you pay?
He kind of raises an eyebrow, but says, "Yes, well, suit yourself."
Around.
Would your friends care to join us?
Well, I'm sure some of them would. Some of them,
Absolutely.
often have sticks up their anuses. They may not want to join us.
He smirks slightly.
Those that believe in, the basic principles of fun and enjoyment, join us.
He introduces himself as Ismark. And he is
Ismark? What, are you taking naming conventions from DJ Doom O'Clock now?
It's the way it's written.
I don't believe you.
Okay.
I am here to second this character is totally real.
Ismark?
Ismark. ISMARK.
Like Bismarck, but without the B because.
Okay, that makes more sense. I was seeing E-Spark.
Oh no.
Okay.
I am ordering a round of shots for me and Ismark.
Okay.
Ismark, and if he does not drink it up to my partying standards, I'm immediately going to order him another one and tell him how to do it.
He'll drink the first shot, and then he says, "Well, it's a little bit early for more than that. But please." He
Friend, you see, there is an age-old saying when it comes to alcohol. That is somewhere. Somewhere in the universe, it is a perfectly appropriate time.
The bartender walks up to your table, and he's this pudgy little man with like a horrendous tiny mustache.
Oh no.
And he walks up to you and says, "We ain't got no more. There's no more wine either."
What kind of establishment are you running?
He looks at you and says, "Go blame the fools that run the winery. They haven't made their shipment in weeks."
I suggest you find me some sort of alcohol.
We ain't got any left. You just drank the last of it.
Look, do you want to make some fucking money or what?
Apollo, intimidate
Can't give you what
with
you don't
me.
have.
Apollo, intimidate with me. We're trying to get him to go find us more alcohol.
I shall.
As you're shouting at this barkeeper, you hear the laughter of the Vistani in the room as they seem to see this exchange with. They find this very amusing. Ismark kind of raises his hands and says, "Gentlemen, please calm down. There has indeed been a wine shortage lately, and I'm sure the good innkeeper would be giving us all of the wine he could in the event he had any left."
You know what? You're right. Ismark, I think this is the start of a beautiful friendship. I think you should come with us that wine back. So then as it's coming out, we'll be right there, ready to partake in another round together.
Well, perhaps we can help each other then. I can help you. I think the wine would do this town well. You see, he kind of looks down, leans in closer and says, "You can see how lifeless the people here are."
I firmly believe that wine helps with lifelessness.
Exactly. Believe it or not, but wine truly is the blood of this place. It helps people keep their spirits up.
They look like they haven't had a drink in centuries.
And he says, "If you can help me, I will assist you to find out what's happening with this town's supply of wine."
Causes I don't feel like, but when it comes to reuniting the good people with their lifeblood, that is, I am all about that.
Says, great. Allow me to explain my situation. You see, I and my sister are the children of the late burgomaster of this town.
Burgomaster?
Burgomaster, indeed.
What is the burgomaster? We'll stop him when he says that and say,
the names in this
if you will to look up burgomaster in the dictionary, it is the mayor of a Dutch, Flemish, German, Austrian, or Swiss town.
Of course it is.
Yeah,
but
but they chose that name because we speak English here.
Because it's based on Transylvania, so of course.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
sure,
definitely
whatever.
it.
totally stop him. Like, throw
Burgo
him.
course.
Whoa. You're related.
You got it.
You're related to a burgermaster. Did your father flip burgers or something?
A mayor, if you will.
Oh,
Ruler.
that makes a lot more sense.
Governor.
Carry on, please. Carry on. I'm with you. I'm with you.
I am delighted by your all's reaction to burgomaster. And he says, well, my sister, the burgomaster died, and I suppose I'm next in line to be in charge of this town.
Oh, you're gonna be the new burgermeister?
Burgomaster, yes.
Presumptuous.
Burgomaster. That's right. Sorry, I'm probably going to get that wrong 5 more times. I apologize in advance.
But the devil that lives up on the mountain has taken, an interest in my sister. I need to get her away from this place.
Ooh, what kind of interest? Is it the exact kind of interest your phrasing seemed to insinuate?
He says he's bitten her twice. I think he intends to turn her into something like him.
Okay.
Can you
At
describe
first-
what you mean by bitten?
Might have the same connotation. You're going
Could you
to
not describe what?
clarify.
Tonight is very special.
Right,
Isn't it?
not the same thing. Clarify.
He says, well, you can see the vampire fang marks on her neck.
Oh, okay. That is a good clarification. Thank you. Please.
And I would like to move her to one of the towns west of here. And he pulls out a map that I will take.
Well,
you
we could
to.
do that for you, I suppose. You
I'll
see, I
ask
have
him.
the sack.
He's like,
You and your sack.
okay,
New
I'm
friend
just
first-
going to show you all the entire map because I've really, I don't feel like messing with it.
I will. Follow will ask him. New friend, future burgomeister.
You are at position E over in the village of Barovia. The numbers on this map illustrate the amount of time between 2 time points.
Okay.
And Ismark has
In days or
painstakingly
what?
put this map together.
In days, hours, seconds.
Hours.
Okay.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah, each hex is supposed to be a quarter mile, I think, is the... Yeah.
In what village?
You are in the village of Barovia. He wants to take her to either the village of Valaki at point N,
There.
in the middle. There's also the village of Kresik to the very far west. He says, if we were to take her to Kresik, we could stop at the winery just south of there. And he points to point W on the map. He says, that's where the winery is.
Burgomeister. On a scale of 1 to 10, if you could possibly just eliminate this vampire from the equation, like get him killed, or that to relocating your sister.
He looks up at you just like, oh, kill Strahd von Zarovich.
I mean, to be fair, vampires aren't necessarily... They're kind of already dead, so I don't know if kill works, but, I mean, you understand my meaning,
He
right?
shakes his head. You are so very new here.
Yes, I am, but I was just
Strahd
trying to assess...
cannot be killed. He is the land.
This is the land.
You make no sense, man.
That's not sensible. Please rephrase.
he says, he is tied to this realm. There is no escape from this place. Everything that happens here is under his vision. He sees everything. He knows everything that happens here.
Okay. What
Then
you
he's
just
had
said,
an interesting evening.
His
not the
spies
same thing as the first thing
are
you said.
all over the place. They could be in this room, and he eyes the Vistani very warily.
None of the things you just said, new friend, insinuate that he can't be killed. It merely states that it's not easy.
He looks at you and he shakes his head and says, I suppose you could try, but it would be your doom for certain.
Thank you for dignifying my inane thoughts. Just a moment. I appreciate that.
Gizmo, I saw that you were... I just now caught up to the chat and saw you were going to the Vistani.
Yeah, and then I was actually talking to Ismark, and
Okay.
it's all confused. But yeah, actually, I do want to head over
Okay.
to Vistani. But
they greet you. Say, come friend, drink with us.
Sounds goof to me.
I'll do so.
Drinking is always good.
Anyone hankering for a meat pie?
They laugh and say, oh, no thank you. And one of them kind of leans in close and squints at you and says, oh, you're the one. Oh, all of you, yes. You're the ones Madame Eva spoke of.
Well, yes, I'm quite famous.
They all say, oh, quite famous indeed in these parts.
Madame Eva.
Yes, Madame Eva. Our leader, if you will.
I won't.
The eldest and wisest of us all.
Where does this Madame Eva reside?
Just west of here. At the pool at the base of the mountain where Castle Ravenloft sits atop.
Wait, do we see that on the map? Hang on.
On the map, it would be G right here.
Okay.
And they ask, or they say, she has foreseen your arrival and many other things of your actions that will happen here. I think, yes, perhaps you would like to speak with her.
I would.
We can travel in our wagon. It'll be much easier than walking, much faster too.
This is all sounding very familiar.
It is.
I'm hesitant again.
Mm-hmm.
I am less hesitant than last time.
I don't care.
Of course you don't.
They kind of point your friend sitting by Ismark's table and says, is he coming with us? The lesser one.
That Ismark fellow?
Wait,
I doubt
who's
it.
the lesser one?
Ismark.
Do you have something against Ismark?
No, but I do have something against
nothing.
bingo masters.
Nothing except he'll never accomplish anything like his father did. I wouldn't even call his father Ismark the Greater, because it's just, he's lesser than nothing.
He's lesser than nothing? Oof.
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
Well, that's quite the statement.
Tell me, what did his father accomplish?
They kind of chuckle amongst each other and says, well, look at the village.
Good
Isn't
point.
it great?
Ooh, it's something, all right.
It is something, all right.
And was Ismark the architect of this village?
Oh, no. This village has been here very, very long time. But
and it shows.
yes. You can see just what little life it has left. And you could say that was the former Ismark's accomplishment, was keeping what's left intact. Such as it is.
Such as it is.
And this Ismark the Current, that you think so little of, would he be welcome to join us if we were to invite him?
Sure. I don't see why not. He can't really do much. I suppose he'll want to take his sister along, wouldn't he?
He has a sister?
Yes.
Happens in conversations.
That's what we get for a party split.
Right. What was I gonna say? You speak of Ismark, this Ismark, as though he is an impotent fool. Why do you talk of him this way?
He speaks out against our lord at times, and, well, there's no contending with the will of Strahd von Zarovich.
So true.
I mean, I'm keeping this all to myself because I have heard so many tales of Strahd and have worked with people who have made it their life purpose to get to and take down Strahd.
Yes.
I'm not going to say anything against him in this context, but I'm kind of taking it all in. Who has allegiance, who doesn't, and just making mental notes.
Sure. So the Vistani say, well, why don't you gather your lesser friend and sister and accompany us outside of the village to where our wagons are, and we shall take you to Madame Eva, and she will tell you all.
I'll before the party makes a decision, or as we're talking, I'll kind of like pull Melissa aside a little bit. Sorry, I should probably be using your real name. Your not real name. Azariah. I'll pull Azariah aside and say, are you still getting the same vibe of untrustworthiness that you were previously? Or has their deed been done and now we can take them at their word?
I wouldn't take them at their word, but I'm interested to see what they have to say.
Good answer. Good answer.
Good answer.
Acceptable answer.
Good
Also,
answer.
good answer.
Okay. I'm okay with following them for the time being. Actually, we can ask about the kid, can't we? We should ask them if they know anything about this girl. Or would that be giving away information we don't want them to have?
Well, when the girl said they are in there,
right.
There are only so many days that she could have been talking about.
Right. There was a child who pointed us to this inn. Have you encountered a small girl who may or may not reside in this market? What was the name of the thing? What did you call it?
Oh, the tavern?
The mercantile place.
Oh,
Bildress Mercantile.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is she known to your people?
They shrug and say, "You'd be better off asking the ladies that run the old bone grinder. They know all of the children in Barovia."
Bone grinder?
That is an unfortunate
and
name.
They know all the children in Barovia. Fantastic.
Go on.
Yes. What is this bone grinder?
Oh, the old bone grinder. It's a windmill up on the hill.
You can't just say the name bone grinder again and expect me to know what you're talking about.
Ismark kind of says they must be referring to the old windmill. And he points to point Q on the map, kind of in the middle. Or no, not Q. It's O. My bad. Closer than Q.
What business is the children of Barovia to those of the Bone Grinder?
They kind of shrug and give a coy, none of our business.
But that does not make sense. You say that they make it their business to know the business of the children, but you don't know why they don't make it. No, you know why they... You know that... You know that they make it their business, but you do not know why they make it their business?
Well, we don't care. They can do what they want with the kids here.
Savage. And it was at that moment that we walked away.
I guess. How would they know that they had business with the kids and yet not know what that business was?
Would you like to make an insight check?
Yes, I would. I'm gonna fail it miserably.
Wait, a what check?
Insight.
Can I roll it too?
Sure. Anyone can.
Am I solvent enough to roll it?
Yeah, even with a 12, you know that they are just flat out not answering your question in line.
I give them squinty eyes. I give them.
What about with the 20?
I've got a really good squinty eyes.
They smile back at you.
I squint
what do
more.
I give 20?
20, you know beyond a shadow of a doubt they are lying to you very openly.
I punch him in the face.
Ooh!
Here we go.
He cares so much about the children. These children are our life now.
How about with the natural 20, huh?
Yeah.
The Filge, do you have inspiration right now? Because if you don't, you get inspiration back.
Thank you. I don't, so thank you.
As he punches, I will also say, apparently my friend does not like to be lied to.
Nobody likes to be lied to.
In response, the Vistani you'd punched looks at you with a fury and says, how dare you? And follows this up with the Vistani Evil Eye.
Oh. He can also squint.
Are there saves? Hopefully wisdom.
Let me see.
Related to that?
The spell save is 8 plus proficiency bonus, caster's charisma. Yep. Okay. Yeah, make a charisma saving throw.
Shit.
Ooh.
Okay, a 13 is not good enough.
No shit.
I'm keeping my cool through all of this, by the way. I'm letting it happen, but I'm not escalating. I have no intent of fighting these people.
Wait a minute.
Oh dear lord! No, no, Glortalk. No.
Fuck that.
Hashtag drunk.
Oh boy.
Thank you, Apollo. I knew it.
Oh my god.
Oh boy.
You two are codependent. It's so true.
We are, because like, God damn it, he's the best.
So before
wait,
this,
before you say anything, before you say anything, I'm trying to stop you so hard. I can't yell louder. This is the best I can manage.
Okay.
I want to spend a key point to try to re-roll that save.
Well, I already told you it wasn't good enough.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
All right, then never mind. You're right. You're right.
So, before the axe and spearheads crash into the Vistani, it uses its evil eye to deafen you.
Well,
The
that doesn't
gypsy-
do anything.
The D&D gypsies have an evil eye.
Yes.
Evil eye deafens you?
Your character is now completely deaf.
That makes...
I mean, I'm not
less than zero
very
sense.
worried about that. That's fine. So, whatever. Especially given the nature of Key. So, whatever.
Okay, and then the axe and the spear both
Hell yeah.
both hit and sink into the squishy Vistani body.
Who has already taken 9 damage for the record.
Yes, that Vistani is dead.
Okay.
There's
Gotta
a
believe it.
Yeah, it's never redeeming this thing. It's a full-on fight now.
Now we can take his evil eyes.
That's not the correct response. to
and
this.
there is a horribly awkward silence.
I can fix that.
Anyone want a meat pie? They're on the house.
I'm going to end this silence, even though I can't hear anything. Look
Let me.
directly at the remaining
Oh,
enemies
God.
and say,
Ugh.
Oh.
I'm going to
Please.
look directly at them and say, you were lying to us.
Let me.
You kind of scream it, don't you? Because that's what you do when you're
I
deaf.
don't, because I just became deaf. It wasn't a bomb or anything. Like, it wasn't a loud noise. It was
But
just me becoming deaf.
Yeah, but you naturally raise
think-
your own voice so that you can hear it when you're deaf.
I mean, it might be a tiny bit louder, but I'm not shouting it because,
Okay.
like, what you're talking about is like when bombs go off or flashbangs
Well,
or something that are really
Yeah,
loud.
I mean,
and
he
it's-
doesn't
Not
necessarily
exactly.
know that he's deaf yet.
I
No,
don't
I know,
it just
which is
happened.
why I'm saying you
Which
naturally
is why I was
escalate
trying
your
to
own voice
accurately roleplay
so that you can hear
what it
yourself.
was. Yeah, but I would have started out quieter.
Yes, you would have started quiet.
And my question was literally, what I said was literally, you were lying to us. So
Yeah.
it was said as a statement.
Sure.
Mason,
No,
shut it.
I'm not
Imagine-
arguing.
Getting slowly
You were. I
louder.
thought about it. Darn it.
So I don't have any Vistani tokens at the moment, so I'm making some circles to illustrate Vistani.
What's that, boss? You weren't expecting
How
us
did you not
No,
know I was gonna?
I
I
was
am a
not
teacher,
expecting to fight
darn
the
it.
Vistani in the bar.
Of course.
Seriously? You didn't
Child
expect us to
molester.
fight them?
Not the Vistani, no. I expected several other things that did indeed happen.
this point, you always have multiple alcohol-related contingencies planned for every night.
So,
Well, for me, that's constant.
Oh.
But
Exactly why you should just plan on it.
it's
that one there.
Responses.
You would be here. This circle would be dead.
Dead.
Yes. There we go. Dead. Okay. Now we can get initiative going.
Oh my.
What if you don't really want to be
I'm
part of this?
automatically at the top of turn order.
Oh, come on.
Wait, are you automatically at the top, or does it count as though your attack was basically a surprise round, and so now you just fall in naturally?
Oops. Not a slash.
That seems more likely.
I think the latter.
I didn't realize it worked
Run that by
way
me
I
again real
thought.
fast.
I personally feel like I should be at the top of the turn order, not to act again, but at the bottom currently, as the next to act in this line of actions.
I think you can just roll naturally and act as though it was a
That would have
surprise
been your,
round.
surprise round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can just roll naturally.
So we're gonna we'll start from the top.
Okay.
My initiative's wrong in there. I got a 21, but forgot to select.
Also, my being deaf does not in any way impede my AC.
Correct.
That's good.
Okay. Because I feel the earth.
Balgar, you're up first.
Can you give us a spatial layout of some sort, like just walls or a bar?
Yeah, let me draw. the bar fast. It said it was 60 feet square.
Okay.
60-foot square is not big.
And maybe the door
No.
that we came in as well.
60 feet squared or 60 feet on each side?
That's what I'm trying to interpret, if it means 60 feet in each direction.
It was a pretty big
I'm
building.
going to go with that's what it meant. It was 60 feet in each direction.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you've
it would have said
got a
square
lot of
feet
room.
otherwise.
You've got a lot of room, is what
Okay.
I'm getting at.
Well, 60 divided by 5 feet is 12 squares on a side. It's not huge.
It's not huge, but it's plenty.
No, that's
Yeah,
true.
it's something.
Like
I
we all
was
fit in
misinterpreting
here.
rolling 20s nonsense. Oopsies. Okay.
What happened?
I'm moving you into the corner so I can adjust the map size.
Oh,
What?
dude. Pink? Pink?
You
It happened.
started a fight. This is what you get.
That's fair. That's fair. As soon as I heard the nana nas, I got it. I got it.
All right, I muted the bot for myself because I don't know if that's copyright infringement.
Bar
use.
is over here.
Well, the
Barkeeper's
3
hiding.
seconds are.
The door here. Ismark's table was over here in the corner. Their table was in the middle of those 4 there.
Okay.
So they're still sitting around their table.
And
we'll
this
say
is
there's
the one that got waxy
There's another
doodled.
table here. Another table here. And yes, the one with the X's is the one that got.
Okay. Okay, so on my turn, I will shake my head, sigh loudly, and walk 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There.
Tonight is special.
I mean, maybe I got all this from being at medieval times today.
Is that why your voice is a little hoarse, or was it yelling to the kids to?
And I had to keep going to school this whole week because I had a test and then a field trip today.
Yeah.
So it has never recovered.
Gotcha.
Fullen.
Do these guys look like they're gonna try to attack my friend?
They
Associates, whatever you want to call them.
They look like they're ready to defend themselves.
Well, I didn't necessarily part of the initial punch throwing.
Say that again?
I wasn't part of the initial punch throwing. Entirely sure I'd be the type to go try to right now.
Do you want to just save your action until after they go?
Does any of them look particularly intimidating?
Let's see. Let me pull up that picture again. We'll say there's one that looks kind of like the really big guy.
Ooh.
He looks kind of like him. Okay, so I'm gonna look at the big guy,
Uh-huh.
and I'll be like, I don't want him to hurt, especially not my associates, who I may or may not actually have achieved friend level with. I'm pretty sure I've achieved that with Apollo after tonight. But still, I'm going to cast this one on him.
Oh.
Grab him with Fist of Earth.
Oh my.
Oh gosh.
That's an awesome spell.
2d6 and let's try this.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh.
Let's see here.
Hey, can I make a very important 5e reminder?
Yeah.
If you ready an action that includes a spell and then your condition never happens, you lose the spell in the spell slot.
Okay.
Oh.
That's very important for our casters. So if you're going to ready a spell, be prepared to lose it if your condition doesn't happen.
What's your spell DC, Sparty?
At 16.
Okay, he gets out of that.
I don't know how many saves does he have to make?
He tries to grab a creature within 5 feet of it. Creature is restrained. So, did you put it like right here? I'm on the GM layer.
On Big Papa. That's who I was targeting.
It has to be on an unoccupied square.
Oh, right by Big Papa then.
So, here or here or here. Which one?
This one.
Okay.
So yeah, I also have to roll for magic shenanigans. Every time I cast a spell, I roll for magic shenanigans. That's not the right phrase, but
you're right.
Honestly,
wild magic.
Yeah.
Else I can't remember what it's called.
Oh yes.
That's unfortunate. I wanted shenanigans.
Melissa.
Well, that's what your Tides of Chaos.
Unless you want to move, Sparty.
My new friend. I should be by him. Our new friends.
He is just got this shocked look on his face.
Fists come. Do fists not come out of the ground around you, dude? Earth loves me and protects others around me. That's just my life, bro.
Melissa, it is your turn.
We're gonna try something and hope that it works.
Uh-huh.
I believe in you.
That's pretty much all the D&D.
The last game we played.
Let me see. Make sure that's where I wanted to move. What the heck? Nope. Where's the what? What? Going to stand here and everyone to stop. Going to attempt. We're gonna use my racial ability here.
Okay.
See what we.
Don't worry, it's a...
Yay! Yay!
Nice work! Nice work! Good job.
Hey.
Is that angel wings?
Is the other one.
Oh, okay. Would you like to describe your appearance?
Okay.
It's so good.
Step up and shout. My eyes turn into pools of darkness and 2 skeletal ghostly wings sprout from my back.
Yes.
I need
Get it, Queen.
To succeed on a charisma throw or become frightened.
Who?
Everyone within 10 feet.
Okay, so I need to do this 3 more times.
Dang nabbit.
What's the DC?
I would assume the DC is 15.
Okay.
Does that include the dwarf and the half?
Everyone that's in 10 feet, so yes.
Oh, okay.
What kind of save do I need to make?
Charisma.
Charisma?
Ooh.
I can do that.
Do I have to do one?
Yeah. Ooh.
You can't do that.
I only have a +1 to charisma, unfortunately.
Yeah.
This is not youth.
Okay. And that's
Also,
frightened,
can I
you
just
said?
say that this song is one of my favorites of all time.
Okay. Apollo. Unless you wanted to move, Melissa.
Is there an enemy
do I have to make a
35 feet of
decision?
me?
No, just the body of the one that you slaughtered.
Oh, okay. I'll move to be close to the person that
Okay.
is close to me.
You step over the body.
And then I'll attack.
Okay, that's definitely a hit.
Okay.
That's that person is on death's door.
Okay, I don't care. That's it.
Okay. Mr. Mo.
Okay. What's that, like a table?
That's a table.
Okay, I'm gonna get on.
Okay.
And I'm going to go for a mass intimidation with my fabulous song that was originally intended to entertain these guys, but is now going to try and just warn them about how dangerous this group.
Okay. Do performance.
Okie dokie. +3.
Okay. Then I'll have them do a couple of saves. And those two are already frightened. So, you've successfully frightened the remaining 2 Vistani in the room. One of them is very heavily bloodied from Apollo's strike. Now they're all just kind of cowering by the table and, holding up their hands like, no more, no more. So how do you respond to that, Zell?
Plan, like pudding can. Even the worst, the aged curse. Young and old, they all lack cold. Sundown kills, the death cry shrill. Staggerly Jones, the image owns the love of a daughter for sake of clones. The fur and teeth stains ground beneath. Like molten iron, an angel choir, and the end of trouble and bloody bubble. Our boys in red hold many heads. In victory stand the metal band. Return to town, pass wine around. Oof.
This has to be freestyle.
That's fair.
It's just cool though.
And it's amazing. Like, oh my god, I cannot believe it.
Oh, okay. Well then, Zell sees them. So you said they have like their hands up or something? Or
yeah, like they definitely look like they're trying to surrender right now.
See, I don't really respect people who surrender.
Oh.
Me neither.
Wait, does that make you want to kill them that much more?
Well,
they also just admitted to following a undead monster around, so.
Yeah, just kill them.
Wow.
Oh boy.
10 out of 10. What play again?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sure. So this one's still alive?
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
On.
Well,
They need to
I'm out of smiting and stuff, so this is just gonna be a ho-hum attack.
Uh-huh.
Oh, ooh, ooh.
Indeed. You reduce the table to splinters, but miss the Vistani.
And as I do so, I say, I hate people who surrender.
Okay. Belge.
Sorry, I accidentally added the wrong thing to the fantasy music box. I don't know how to remove it. So we're still fighting?
Yes, you are. Or at least your other party members still seem like they want to fight.
I'm directly next to one of them?
You're also
yes.
afraid, aren't you?
Can I move?
Oh, yeah, you're afraid.
Oh,
so
yeah.
You'll have to move towards the door.
Yeah, well, let's read the frightened condition.
Yeah, one moment.
Scared and deaf, isn't he?
I was deaf, so maybe I'm not afraid.
No, because it was a visual thing.
Yeah, it's definitely visual.
If anything, you're deaf and more confused.
A frightened creature has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of its fear is within line of sight. The creature can't willingly move closer to the source of its fear.
Right.
Well,
So in this one, yeah, you don't have to flee.
Where I can attack, but it's at disadvantage.
Correct.
I will do that. I ain't no bitch.
You could use your inspiration to counteract that.
I ain't no bitch. Oh, sorry for the rude language.
No, it's fine. We have. I'll put an NSFW tag on this stream.
Fair, good call. Also, I'm going to spend a key point to do a flurry of blows at disadvantage.
Audiences.
That's probably a fair 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I've already selected disadvantage in these rolls.
Oh, wow. That is quite the disadvantage.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Okay.
I accidentally rolled 4. I apologize.
Well, that's definitely a hit. I can tell you that much.
Yeah. I'll roll damage.
Plus 15.
My gosh.
It's 3d6. Like, it's 1d6 plus 5.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yep, that'll do it. All right. Second Vistani goes down.
This right here, where we're playing right now, is where the monk is best. So, yeah.
Defenseless human beings who had no intention of fighting him in the first place?
No. I'm just saying, like, in terms of attacking,
no, I know.
3 to 8 is where the monk is the best.
Oh my gosh.
Melissa and Gizmo, would you like to make an attack of opportunity on the Vistani that is about to flee from you?
Sure.
I didn't know. I didn't want to be killing anybody.
Okay.
I have no qualms with killing
7 damage to that one.
traffickers.
They all back into the corner. Ismark, on his turn, suddenly goes rigid and says, "Wait, do you hear that?"
Uh-oh.
One of us doesn't.
Everyone make perception checks.
Oh, boy.
Except for Felge, you can't hear anything.
Perception checks.
I'm too full of my own music.
Ooh, I might have heard things.
Sparty, you did indeed hear things.
Yeah?
You hear bats. Many.
Bats?
Many bats.
Like a regular herd of bats coming, or like Batman used technology to summon bats?
Like, Batman used multiple devices to summon as many bats as possible.
Oh shit, that's a lot of bats.
Mason, on your way out the door, you see a humongous cloud of bats descending towards the tavern.
From where?
Wow. Just from everywhere, every direction.
Are they about to come in the door?
They are headed straight for the door.
I think we need to get out, or we're going to get an ass kicking from a vampire, guys.
I'm so tempted to just like open the door wide and like put an arm out and be like, "Come on in. This is already a really bad shit show. A couple thousand bats couldn't make it any worse."
Ismark looks at you, Sparty, and he's like, "We need to leave right now."
I got the same. We are so in sync, new friend.
Before I guess instead of doing that, because I was just kidding. Before they actually hit the doorway, I'll like kind of go out and turn the corner. And just be outside of the building.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
All right, Sparty, what are you gonna do at your turn?
Shout. I shout to my friends just the phrase "haul ass." to follow Ismark wherever he's about to go. And let me see if there's a useful spell here. I don't think there is.
If people start running in a direction, I will follow. Because I don't know why I can't.
I'm going to. Ooh, does that make sounds? Cast minor illusion as I do this. Most like explosion-like sound possible to try to scare people out to get.
Okay.
And I got that's a cantrip. Never mind. I don't get to magic shenanigans that one. But I'm gonna follow my new friend.
Okay.
New friend leads the way. Let's go.
He's at the bottom of the turnover.
I tell him hopefully Anus Sticks will follow us. Let's go.
Can you drag somebody as part of your turn? I don't even know.
I
if
think
they're
it
willing.
would involve a grapple, but I mean, he would be willing in this situation to be moved if you would like to move him, I guess.
I guess technically speaking, I prepare an action to follow him.
Okay, that's fair.
Really a good thing to say. A firm, like, preparing an action to follow him thing.
Okay. Melissa. You hear Sparty shout, haul ass.
I'm gonna haul ass.
Okay.
Well, I'm on the wrong tool. Wait, where are we hauling ass to?
Away from the bats.
Okay. Is there anywhere to go away from the bat?
The vampire
have a
coming
plan?
to suck the life out of us, guys.
I think I can also just ask, do Glortalk and Zell plan to continue attacking?
No, I leave.
Okay. Zell?
Well, I'm torn. I suppose I will haul ass.
Okay. All right, you all haul ass to the town and away from the Vistani. Back to the village.
Can you give us a little more detail on
I can.
that interaction? Like what happened? How fast did they come? Did we hear anything from inside once we evacuated?
Here, let me put a party token on the board.
Hey, it's up.
Illustrate where you are. Then we'll put, let's see if there's a bat token I can use. Okay, here we go. That's a huge bat. All right. The bats were, so imagine looking up into the sky, and you see a lot of clouds followed by, or just in front of the clouds, bats as far as the eye can see in all directions, and they are flying lower and lower and appear to be swirling around the center of town here in like a tornado of bats. And as far as the timing of this, it happened within like seconds of the first Vistani going down.
Gotcha. Okay, but we all made it out before bats entered.
Yes, they have sort of been creating like this cyclone just in front of the tavern, but are not like flying into it.
Mm-hmm.
It's disturbingly synchronized.
Oh, of course, yeah.
But probably just a natural phenomena.
Oh no, that is not normal for bats. Do not.
It was a joke. I have lots of experience with vampires.
That's a giant Ismark. Okay, Ismark kind of dashes out and sees all of the bats, and
He'd already be out. We followed him.
He says, let's see. He says, "Quick, we have to get to the edge of the village." It's on the southern tip.
What's on the southern tip?
My house. I have to go get my sister. We're leaving, and we're not coming back.
Your friend certainly is.
Can you say that again? You kind of cut out.
No, I actually didn't. I just said your friend is, you know.
Okay.
All right, everyone, tell me your game plan. Is there anyone not following Eastmark to E4?
Does anyone have a game plan?
No.
I'm so tired. Like I'm coming down from all my drugs and stuff. and
No, don't get. I understand 100%. I'm with you, dude. I'm crashing pretty hard too.
How low is the lowest bat?
Maybe a few inches off the ground.
Oh, so like they're already way down.
Yes.
I guess we run. I'll plan to go with Eastmark.
Okay.
I mean, it sounds like
right.
they've had some experience with this type of thing before, and know that it can't be overcome naturally. So, I don't know.
Eastmark and company kind of run around the bat tornado and just trying to run as fast as possible to E4. And from the tornado, you all hear a booming voice say, "How dare you touch my people? I will avenge their blood."
Oh, good.
As you're running, Eastmark kind of shouts over his shoulder, "I think you made a bit of a mistake."
Either he has like the highest paid security team ever that got the memo to him. Really annoying cult magic.
Like Strahd sees all comment.
Yeah, and there were those blue people in the bar with us. It's just they weren't with the Vistani. So like he could have had eyes and ears in that bar through those people, like
through the Vistani.
Or through the Vistani, whatever. Yeah.
The cult magic going on.
Okay.
What a surprise.
The real kicker there. Like, he's got straight up, like, cult magic going on. Like,
yeah. You find the weary-looking mansion squatting behind a rusting iron fence. Iron gates twisted and torn. Right gate cast aside, and the left one swings lazily in the wind. Behind you, you hear the shrieking and crying of who knows how many innumerable bats. And Eastmark just crashes through the door of the mansion and yells, "Irina, we're leaving, now!" And there's sort of a crashing sound as a woman in full armor rushes out with the silver sword in hand.
Oh.
Did not expect that.
Looks like this.
Hey, he did have a sister.
And as she runs out, she seems like such a complete contrast to the village people that you have seen in this village. She is far more full of life and is very beautiful compared to literally everything else you've seen so far.
Let's hit on her right now.
I definitely stand up straighter because she looks more like someone to be respected. Like, I don't respect the Vistani. I don't respect the people of the city. I don't respect what's his name? I don't respect him enough to even learn his name. Yeah. But this woman looks like a leader, and she looks like, you know, somebody that commands, or, you know, commands respect. And so I definitely stand up straighter in anticipation of meeting her.
I love the contrast. You're respecting her, and I'm just like, hey, girl.
Yeah. I'm a woman respecter, you might say.
She's like, Eastmark, what's going on? Who are these people? What's going on out at this? Oh, he's here.
You gonna save your life, beautiful?
Oh gosh.
Oh boy.
Can I punch her? Am I allowed to just
You
punch
are allowed to punch, yeah.
Do it.
Remember what punching did? Punching summoned the bat.
Punching was necessary, damn it. There were kids involved.
Are you punching him in the sense of like, hey, calm it down sort of sense, or like you're being an ass sort of sense?
You're being an ass sort of sense.
Yeah, that's
Dude
the kind
lied
of
to my
a
face,
little bit.
okay? He was not in
So
a
that's
position to not punch him.
There,
Ooh, that's a
that.
I am
21.
also chaotic neutral.
I
Does-
think I got punched.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you got punched.
punched.
Ouch.
Ooh, okay. Just enough to smart. I'll as I'm, kind of waiting for her, I'll say, I'm Balgard Raiderhosh. We need to leave.
She's like, yeah, introductions later. We're leaving. Out the back door. Come on.
Just out of curiosity, how long did it take us to get here?
You're running very, very fast, so I would say like a minute tops.
My wings just faded then.
Okay.
But would she have seen them?
I mean, they last a minute.
We'll say they faded as you got to mansion.
Okay, so she
Cool.
didn't.
No.
Gotcha.
Gonna tuck those away.
Probably a lot of villagers had to make charisma saving throws, though.
From behind you, you all hear the voice bellow, Irina, it is time.
The
The Strahd voice, one might surmise.
Ismark says, "Come on, we can nab the Vistani horses." And you all book it out of the mansion, and he leads you to Vistani have 4 horses. Two are like there's 2 wagons, 2 horses attached to each wagon.
Okay.
So he and Irina clamber into one of them, and he just gestures to the party, says, "Take the others. Let's go."
Can I fit in the one with Irina?
Oh.
Yes, these would definitely accommodate a dozen people very easily.
I
Is
also
new
climb
friend
into one
cool-
with Irina.
Is new friend cool with me climbing in with Irina, even though I
He's
blatantly
more
run her
interested
over?
in getting out.
Not stopping me is what you're saying.
No.
Cool.
I also
do that.
climb in that one.
Wait, we can all fit in it, right?
Yes,
Probably.
you could all fit in one wagon if you would like.
Oh. Would we go
In
faster
2 wagons
upon...
would be bad.
¿Por qué no los dos?
Ismark
Yes.
sees you all kind of, getting in the wagon and says, "Are any of you good with horses?
Do I look good with horses?
And is there a driver? Do we have a driver in the party?"
Oh, small animal. Ever.
The horse bites you.
Oh, wait a minute. That's something I can do. Hang on, just a s-
We're getting there. We're getting there slowly but surely.
We're trying so hard.
5, 10, 11. So the horse bites at 5. What does it do at 10?
It kind of ignores you.
Okay.
11, it kind of neighs a tiny bit.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like, okay. Oh, there we go.
All right, let's get to it. You horses, we got places to be so that we all don't die.
I guess
Make
it
a
didn't say
persuasion.
speak eloquently with animals.
Yeah, that'll be a persuasion.
Oh, yes. Sir.
Persuade the crap out of this DJ Dumo clock.
Persuasion is one of my strong suits. Ah, yes. This also has a +3 to it.
Ooh, nice.
Let's see. Let me check this. Oh yeah. I'm not one to share the light with an ogre, a zephyr, or a barrow white, but this one time I recruit the herd, so drop a slick hook and let's hear your word.
Wait, what?
Wow. The horses go.
That's right to do.
Yeah.
Behind you, you hear the booming voice say, "Irina!" And followed by a sounds very similar to a demonic horse, similar to the one you heard the other night, or just the night before. And as you go full speed down the road, it's not long before you can see a fiery steed in hot pursuit. Yes. And Ismark looks back and says, "Do any of you have ranged weapons? If we can cross the river, well, we should cross the river. The vampire cannot cross flowing water."
I only have ranged weapons, but I'm also.
Will it actually slow him down?
We can hope.
Okay.
I don't have ranged weapons. I could throw meat pies at him.
So, what would people like to do to try to slow the vampire steed?
Do we have anybody who's at least proficient with ranged weapons?
No.
Cool. Because I have a crossbow I could give to someone.
I mean, I think I'm just proficient in all martial weapons, so.
I mean, I guess I do have javelins. Right. I have some javelins that I could throw, and I'm proficient with them.
I've got ranged cantrips, so I can do those, and I have a non-magical crossbow I could give to somebody.
I could take it, I suppose.
Cool. Have a light crossbow.
Hooray!
You guys are in the same vehicle.
I mean, if I toss it and
we are now.
That upset, so I would be happy to give it a shot to toss it to you. If
I didn't specify which wagon I was in.
Okay.
Do range
did anyone want to take the other wagon? I guess because one is definitely going.
I was in the one
right.
without the siblings.
Oh, okay.
Because I was like, I made the animal handling check and then assumed that once we got it up and going, I was just hopping in that one.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But I guess I'll try to throw a javelin.
Okay.
What is his horse like?
His?
Yeah, his horse.
His horse looks like this.
Is it a nice
like
horse?
Yep. It's a nightmare.
Haha, nightmare.
That's
I got it. Does it look like it would be hurt by
knowledge or arcana?
Mortal weapons? Okay, here.
Give it a water gun.
Let me do a knowledge arcana. It's a 6.
Yeah, you think it could be hurt by it. It's just a horse with fire.
Yeah, just a normal horse. Fire.
Yeah,
fire horse.
A horse.
Just throw some water on it. Easy peasy.
It's just a shiny Rapidash.
Ours is on fire.
That's a Team Rocket.
Team Rocket Rapidash.
That's funny. Okay. I mean, I don't actually have the javelin set up as a weapon. How do I do that?
Oh,
Drag it from the compendium probably is the easiest way.
Oh, sure.
Wait, what?
I don't know.
How do you do that?
You know how we have the compendium?
Where?
The
it's
info
the
tab.
I tab at the top right.
Search for.
Oh, that. Sorry. Yeah, I can do that. I didn't realize you could just drag from that.
Yep.
Yeah, Gizmo bought that for us.
That's awesome.
That is.
Well, there was the free one. I bought the expanded one, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you? Well, so that like shows me the weapon itself, and then you just drag that onto your sheet. Okay, hang on. Let me. I had it popped out, so I'll have to close that.
Yeah.
And then open it here. Javelin. I don't see it added to my attacks.
Make sure you're dragging not from the proficiencies.
Yeah, from the items.
Okay, yeah.
And it says accepting drop from compendium. Oh, there it did. Okay. Nice. That's actually super handy.
It is.
Okay, well it was an 11. So I'm guessing I lose one of my javelins in the process. I had 4, so I'm down to 3.
Okay.
I'd also like to shoot at this evil horse. Bad horse.
Bad horse, bad horse.
How far?
The Evil League of Evil. And maybe it's just the Evil League of Evil, guys.
Okay,
They
I do
wanted
believe
to
an 18
recruit
is a
you
hit.
after you fought all those innocent people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really want them to die.
The horse that is suddenly hit with the crossbow bolt and does kind of it's very surprised by it and kind of comes to or it slows down considerably for a few moments while you gain speed. And you hear Strahd from the nightmares shout out, "Irina, it is time. You cannot hide forever." And those of you near Irina can see her kind of clutching her head and hear her saying, "He's in my mind. I can hear him."
Well, we can hear him too.
He's...
If it's any consolation, we can hear him.
I've heard him so many times. Every night. For centuries.
Wait, what?
What? Detect evil on her.
Okay.
Doubt.
You do not detect evil from her.
Can I do a... This is gonna be weird. Can I do a perception check to see if when she's talking I see fangy fangs?
Sure. You see no fangs.
Sure, I can't tell.
No fangs. She has normal teeth.
Oh
Right,
man.
apparently.
Can I roll a knowledge check to know if they have retractable things in this universe?
Sure. Do Arcana.
Yeah, that's gonna go
well. You know that vampires are able to disguise their appearance.
Okay.
So they may not be able to like retract their fangs, but they could probably put an illusion of normal teeth over their fangs.
Okay. So her perception might not have actually revealed anything.
It's possible.
Okay.
Okay. How much time has passed? How close are we to the water?
I know it says 3.5 hours, but I'm gonna ignore that and say you're probably a couple minutes away from it.
Okay.
So you just need to make like another. You think if you were to make another round of successful attacks, you might be able to hold him off enough to cross the river.
Okay. I'll try to throw another javelin.
Okay.
Oh my gosh! Really?
This party loves 11.
Seriously.
Super good.
Well, last week it was
guy.
5s and
Go.
15s.
Yeah,
This week it's
fine.
11s.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I'm sticking with my 18s.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
What
go,
the
Zach.
heck? I think it's broken. I think I think the generator is broken.
I felt that last week.
Yeah,
to
me
be
too.
Honest.
All right, this time the nightmare balks again, and Strahd yells out a different name this time. Tatiana, it is time.
Tatiana.
And Irina in the cart stands up and says, "No, no, no!" And she just starts screaming and collapses and screams and thrashes on the floor of the cart.
This is unsettling.
I just
Oh,
need the
God,
random
please,
women to
no.
call upon. To, like, loose of him. To just call on this girl, and then when she doesn't answer, he calls on a different girl. I am.
That's how you get through life, little Folan.
I mean, Tolan gets that, but still.
All right. You approach the bridge and thunder across the bridge. And as you're over halfway across, Ismark pulls out a crossbow. And you notice that there's some strange type of bolt loaded into the crossbow.
Ooh.
And he aims it directly at the middle of the bridge and fires. And there's a burst of flame and splintering of wood as the bolt strikes the bridge, leaving a giant gaping hole right in the center.
See, I don't think fire bothers this guy.
Well, and can't the pony fly?
Can't
The
pony
turn back into bats?
Oh, but can't cross moving water.
Well, presumably he got to the city somehow. Like, if he was in bat form, he could fly over the water, potentially.
Maybe he didn't have to.
The horse, on Strahd's nightmare, comes to the edge of the bridge and just stops. And as you continue moving, he calls after you. It is only a matter of time, Tatiana. Sergei is gone, and you are mine.
Olin will look at Ismark and be like, "Sir, I believe there's not a lot of healthy communication in this new friendship. What did you do? I don't understand."
And Irina appears to have completely passed out at this point. Still breathing, just unconscious.
Good.
Is that kind of... Are we able to assume that was just kind of like emotional exhaustion, like having the voice in her head and...
It's... yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not from some other affliction.
And the nightmare lets out another demonic shriek and appears to walk into nothing, like it walks into another plane kind of thing, and disappears. And Ismark lets out a heavy sigh of relief and tells you you can slow down the horses.
To be clear about the environmental conditions, it is day, but it's still cloudy, so there's no direct sunlight. Is that
right? That's correct.
What's happening here? Okay.
Yeah. So the path you're on, you're kind of on this muddy, dirty path going through the woods. It's definitely been cleared out to be a road, but has seen better days. There's a lot of weeds growing on it, and the woods are appear to be closing in on the road and will overtake it in probably just, a matter of a few years. It is also dead quiet now, aside from the sound of horses.
Well, see, I think Irina has the right idea. Somebody want to stay up while I take at least an hour's nap?
Yeah, I'd like to sleep for an hour.
I haven't been driving. I've just been sleeping.
Hopefully somebody's driving.
Haha, it's automated carts.
Well, the horses know each other. So
yeah.
The horse just...
But they're also blinded, so...
Wait, the horses are blinded?
Who's blinded?
Yeah. I cannot imagine that this cart has horses without blinders.
Oh, blinder. Oh, that type of blinded. Sorry. We're in a magical fantasy world, and I thought you said that somebody had somehow made the horses blind. Yes, they do have blinders on, but like if they were in single file on a road, you can still follow the leading horses in the leading cart.
Carts are usually not in single file; they're usually tied together.
But he's saying the two carts follow the other cart. But yeah, as long as somebody's driving the one cart.
Exactly.
I don't. Who's driving?
The horse is designed to follow what's in front of it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Lesser guy, he can drive.
Yeah, we'll say Ismark can drive. So yeah, you the rest of you can rest while Ismark drives.
That sounds good.
After let's see, he will ask if you would like to take the long road through kind of like a not quite mountainous, but very hilly path, the one going south at point F. Or he also says that Madame Eva is expecting you at the camp at point G. It's also much shorter, but given your recent encounters with Stani, that might not be the best idea, but it's up to you.
Sleep in heavenly peace. We haven't slept in like 17 days.
Or like one.
What I meant, we've done a lot.
You can round it up to 17.
I'm all for the long road, I think. For now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see that 8, and I think that's a long ride.
A little bit of nap sauce here would not be a bad idea.
All right. He says, well, I'll let you know if anything comes up, but rest while you can.
Sounds good.
Just checking here. Are we all...
What was that?
Are we all just trusting these two while the rest of us sleep?
We can sleep in shifts.
You friends creepy?
Yes.
I like Azariah's proposition of sleeping in shifts and volunteer to take the first shift to watch over your sleeping bodies. That's a weird statement. Like, I don't like that sentence. But anyway.
Okay. Ismark takes you through the long, winding path from point F to point H. And by that time, night has fallen. As you all kind of get your 8 hours in.
Any dreams while we sleep?
Kind of restless dreams. Nothing like prophetic or anything like that. Just unsettling dreams that you can't quite remember when you wake up. And when you arrive at point H, he points to the left, and you see you're kind of at like the base of a canyon of sorts, and he points to the left and says, "Look over there. You can see the waterfall from here." And indeed, you see a great waterfall spilling into a pool leading east. And there's a great stone bridge spanning the canyon, going kind of northeast and unsettlingly close to the castle that rests on top of the hills, but appears to be the only way to go west. He also says that east of here is the last chance to see the Vistani encampment, if you would like to go there.
That sounds nice 2 Felges ago.
I wasn't aware I was disposable like that.
No, by which I mean both of our encounters with the Vistani have been because of things that you specifically did. And
I mean,
we probably
true.
would have hung out with them if you hadn't stolen their cards and punched their face.
Yeah, but to be fair, he wanted me to steal those cards. And also, they were doing stuff with kids. So I was never in the wrong.
Yeah. I won't say that any of your actions were actually wrong. I'm just saying that they definitely colored our relationships with these otherwise jovial.
I'm not sure jovial is the word I would use, but
I don't think you can use "they were doing things with kids" as an argument when you have
like, personally, I have nothing against the Vistani as a people group or anything like that, but I have problems with their actions.
Let me just say, in our last campaign, I had like a 6-way with them. I thought they were...
What?
Okay then.
It was crazy. There's sweat everywhere.
So as you're at this bridge, you can see a Vistani wagon approaching you from the camp, the east.
Okay.
And Ismark raises an eyebrow and says, "So, what'll it be? Looks like we're gonna have to make a decision pretty quickly here."
I'm fine with visiting this camp.
I don't really want to, but I'm also not going to raise that issue.
Given the immediacy with which they summoned the ultimate bad guy, I am disinclined to go visit their home.
Suit yourself.
I do, Bubby.
Okay. The wagon approaches, and a very very serious-looking Vistani man looks at you and says, "You will come with us to speak with Madame Eva."
No, you will come with us to speak to Madame Eva.
He rolls his eyes and it waits for you to have, like, for your cart to go forward. He will follow behind.
Whoa.
Okay. So, time passes, and you arrive at this place. I don't know if that's Sarah Pool. I don't know how to pronounce that.
Taser Pool.
The Taser Pool. You arrive at the Taser Pool. And the road gradually disappears and is replaced by a twisted, muddy path through the trees. Deep ruts in the earth are evidence of the comings and goings of wagons. The canopy of mist and branches gives way to black clouds boiling far above. A clearing here, next to the river that widens to form a small lake several hundred feet across, has 5 colorful round tents, each 10 feet in diameter. They are pitched outside a ring of 4 barrel-topped wagons. A much larger tent stands near the shore of the lake, its sagging form lit from within. Near this tent, 8 unbridled horses drink from the river. And the man hops out of his wagon and points you towards the large tent and says, "She awaits within."
I will hop off the cart and go on.
Oh, too late, I guess.
I mean,
We can sacrifice one of them, right?
what does that even mean? Ugh.
I'll get off the cart, but I'm not going to enter anybody's tent. I'll just listen from outside.
So let me put some tokens up. That's a huge Azariah.
Ooh. Sorry, I think
That's also a huge Bulgar.
What is Melissa saying? I can't hear her.
Yeah, sorry.
What are you saying?
When? What things? What do you need me to repeat?
Just like at the beginning, like when we first entered this area, it sounded like you were trying to say something, but you were either cutting out or getting talked over.
I think she was expressing her exasperation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that exasperation being expressed in character.
All right, so who would like to go to tent? And who is staying outside? Okay.
I want to be like just outside the tent.
Yeah, I'll go into the tent.
Okay. You hear a voice within the tent say, "Don't dawdle outside, Balgar. Come in."
Oh, come on.
Two?
I'll say, I don't mean to be rude, but it looks like a small tent. I don't think I would fit.
His ego wouldn't fit, at least.
Inside,
give him the squinty eyes.
A dark room, and with 2 candles on a small table with a giant crystal ball in the middle. And sitting at the table is this woman.
Oh, hey there.
She's nice.
They're floaty cards.
She does have a deck of cards in front of her.
I'll approach her and say, "Madam Eva, baby, it has been a spell."
Oh, gosh.
Oh, no.
If he associates with her, I don't want anything to do with this.
She looks up at you and smiles and says, "Yes, hello, random."
Random?
Random?
Yeah, I'll let her off with that one, and say, everyone in these parts has been so keen for us to meet up with you.
Yes,
I have a feeling that they would not necessarily be so if it was not also your intention that we should show up at your door.
She sort of nods at what you're saying and looks at the next person walking in. We'll say it's Zell. And she greets you by name, Zell. Says, "Yes, always so hard on those willing to surrender. Yes, indeed. Posed quite a problem for my people, but ideally it will serve in the coming times.
One might say he was overzealous.
Get out.
Yes, Balgar.
All right, see ya. No, she said to get out,
Yes.
so I'm just, I'm gonna...
No, Balgar. What news do you have of Rudolph van Richten? Perhaps Azariah would know as well, because she has questionable sources of information these days. She looks right at you, Melissa, and says, "You have made a very dangerous ally. Dark powers are not to be trusted."
Strange words coming from you.
And she smiles and says, "I'm sure they would tell you that, indeed."
I'm just giving everybody squinty eyes, okay? Everybody gets squinty eyes. You can make a constitution save if you want.
Sparty, have you entered the tent?
I'm not entirely sure what's going on. I went to go pee.
Okay.
She's calling us into the tent, basically by name,
Yes.
and telling us intimate details about our lives that
Yes.
we have not shared with her.
I am
Correct.
too much of an extroverted party boy to not respond to just being called by name.
Felge, even though your character is muted, when she speaks to you, you're able to hear her perfectly well.
Deafened.
I'll punch her in the face.
Ooh.
I'm just kidding. I'm super kidding.
That would
was a
be...
joke. That was a super joke. That was a joke. It was a joke.
Mostly.
No, actually, mostly a joke. I did really gauge your reaction to it, but I'm confused. I start pointing at my ears.
She says, "A fitting punishment for one that tried to attack my people, I think. Be glad they didn't make you blind as well. That was a mercy."
I'm going to get on my knees and say, probably too loud at this point, "I'm so sorry. They were dealing in children."
As she says, "The curse will fade in time, dear. Just give it a little. Just think about it while you're recovering." And Glortak. Yes, Glortak. Come in, please. Does Glortak come in? Is Glortak awake?
Seems like Lortek hasn't responded in a while.
Glortak is hashtag blacked out, I think.
She looks at all of you and says, "Well, I can see it took some work to get you here, but I think you are the only ones that, at least you're certainly the only ones I've seen, can save this land and its ruler." And
ruler.
You see, Strahd von Zarovich was not always the fiend he was, and well, he is so tied to this land, and his mere presence has saturated this land with so much evil that only by putting him to rest will we be able to restore this land to its original state. And I believe you are the ones that are capable of doing this.
Do you have some boon for us to enable us to do this?
She takes her stack of cards and says, "I've looked into the crystal ball many times, and I've seen many futures. I will show you. I shall help guide you to those, to several people and several items that will be essential for your task." And she flips over the first card, and you see an image of, it looks like some kind of conjurer, and she says, "This card tells of history, knowledge of the ancient that will help you better understand your enemy. I see a village drowned by a river, ruled by one who has brought great evil into the world. I'll be giving you a handout with all of these, don't worry. She flips over the second card. This card tells of a powerful force for good and protection, a holy symbol of great hope. What you seek lies in a pile of treasure beyond a set of amber doors. She flips over a third card. A card of power and strength, telling of a weapon of vengeance, a sword of sunlight. The treasure lies in a dragon's house, in hands once clean, but are now corrupted. She flips over a fourth card. The card sheds light on one who will help you greatly in the battle against darkness. Your greatest ally will be a wizard. His mind is broken, but his spells are strong.
That sounds dangerous.
Do we have one of those in our party? Because I feel like that describes most of us.
And she flips over a fifth card. Your enemy is a creature of darkness, whose powers are beyond mortality. This card will lead you to him. He dwells with the one whose blood sealed his doom. A brother of light snuffed out too soon. Yes, he dwells in the place of the man he envied most of all. And with that, she sits back, and you notice the cards on the table.
What was the name that he said in regard to Tatiana? There was a definite male name that he said.
Oh,
Sergei.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And you, as you see the pattern of cards on the table, it is the exact same pattern and retconned the same cards that you saw when you stole the cards early on 2 weeks ago.
Well, that's creepy.
And she sits back and says, "Yes, this is the extent I can help you. I can provide you knowledge. I can guide you. But against him, you will be on your own."
Who?
I speak of Strahd, of course.
Backing.
Oh, okay. Now it makes sense. Strahd. I thought you were talking about our paladin.
No.
Yes, I've seen those.
Can I actually insight check that answer to make sure she's actually talking about Strahd?
Yes, absolutely.
She's totally talking about Strahd.
Insight, don't fail me now.
She's totally talking about Strahd.
Yes, you detect no trace of a lie or anything.
Well, shall we be on our way then? I feel like we've gotten all we need from this woman. And I am trying to insult her a little bit here.
Mm-hmm.
Not like...
And she smiles. She gives you a very knowing smile.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you silly thing.
Oh, me. Oh.
And she says, "I will remain here if you have questions. You will have safe passage within my encampment, though I cannot guarantee that your companions that travel with you will be so safe here."
Tell us about our companions.
She smiles and says, they call him the Lesser, but he does indeed have a powerful soul. He can help you, but well, I do not see him helping you in the battle against the Dark One.
Why not?
She shakes her head and says, the mists, they cloud my vision when it comes to this. Now, the other, the Devil's Bride.
Devil's Bride.
Wow.
She smiles and says,
Devil's
you see, the
Bride?
souls of people who die in this land, they stay here. And time again, they reborn and die and are born again and die. And for many centuries, Strahd has sought the soul of his beloved, the one he sought above all others, and sold his own soul to try to get it, steal from his brother. And she now dwells among you, and he will not stop his pursuit of her until she belongs to him.
So you're saying we can get him to come to us rather than having to chase him down?
She tilts her head and says, I suppose you could see it that way. Any other questions for Madame Eva? And we can pick up here next time if it's just too tired to think of new questions, because I completely understand.
I'm just not asking questions because I don't feel like I need her.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm pretty
am
satisfied with the conversation.
being
Yeah, I think
stoic Balgar.
we're good.
Okay. And then she kind of, waves you away and says, go on then. I can continue to guide you if you need it. You know where to find me. And then she calls to you, Balgar, and says, say hello to Rudolph van Richten for me when you find him.
That's all. I just grumble.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think that'll be a good stopping spot for tonight.
Okay. Yeah, I don't like people who think they know me or do in fact know me when I think they shouldn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
She gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well then.
So, our schedules for the next few weeks are probably going to be hectic, I assume.
Yeah, probably.
Not
I'm
a lot
out
of people
next
want me
week.
to do stuff on Friday at 8.
I'm actually, I'm good for the next 2 weeks at least, but
Okay.
Yeah, same here. I'm good for at least 2 weeks. At least 2 weeks.
Okay.
I actually think I might have all three leading up to the Christmas week.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Sure. Okay.
I'm good for the 14th.
Okay.
I will be out the 28th.
All right. 14th.
Yeah, I'll be
sounds
out the
good.
28th as well.
Yeah, me too. No! Actually, I wouldn't. But they are, so.
Um,
I think the 14th will be fine. 7th will be an issue, though.
have a picture.
Yay, picture.
Yay! Like, you actually bought a set of these cards?
I did.
He's had
wow,
them since he was
nice.
like 10.
That's kind of badass.
They looked cool. What I wanted to do was do it semi-live, as in have a webcam set up to lay it all out. But
cool.
it would have been me constantly flipping through the book to pick out the right matching phrases with the cards. So it's like, it probably wouldn't be that worth it.
No, that's. I mean, I love the graph paper as a background because it like conjures genuine old school images of D&D, which is fantastic.
So yeah, the cards determine the locations of 3 treasures, someone to help you, and the location of the final battle.
Wow.
And the original drawing I did was like 2 of the items were in the end game area, and that wouldn't have been fun for anybody. The broken one at the bottom there, your ally, is the best possible thing you could have gotten for that slot, the first drawing, so I kept that there.
Interesting. Okay.
I look forward to seeing what that is.
Yeah, me too.
That is.
I mean, all of this is very intriguing. I'm ready to start going, but I feel like you're correct in saying this is an okay stopping point, because I think we lost Nate at some point, and kind of want him to be part of it too.
Passed out eventually.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So I'm not sure if he'll be available on the 14th.
Okay.
He'll have finals.
Oh, right.
So.
Totally. Although finals aren't usually done on Friday.
No, they've done earlier in the week, I feel like.
Yeah, like normally finals are done by Thursday.
If anything, he'll want to participate and want to.
Oh, I mean, he'll have finals the next week as well, I think.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
If he has finals then next week, that lends credence to the idea that he'll be wanting to play and drink on the 14th.
Perhaps. We'll see. Anyway. Well, thank you, boss, for finding
Yeah, thank you very much, boss.
Thank you all for attending. Hope Felge and Thatcher both feel better. Thanks for joining in. Sick.
No, totally. I'm sorry.
Your voice is probably so hoarse right now, but I really appreciate you coming anyway.
No, I mean, talking like this doesn't actually do more damage to it, but it just sounds terrible for you guys. So sorry about that.
You sound like my grandpa.
Yeah, I know.
I also called you Thatcher, which I hardly ever do, because I looked down and saw Thatch Mo and just immediately thought Thatcher.
No, I know. That's weird, because I think the same thing too. Like, he's Thatch, and then I'm just like, no, he's not Thatch, he's Mo.
Like, no, that's not Thatch Mo.
Mo.
It's Mo. I'm tired. I'm sorry.
Right?
There was a character in the Pokemon anime named Thatcher, and I nearly bugged out of my... That is all.
But anyway, the cards that we got should be pretty good. And yeah, we'll pick up next time as we proceed west. Let me see, where are we? Yes, next week we'll.
So we're there now. We're at
right.
G. Okay.
And we
2 weeks we'll
Valaki.
probably make our way to Valaki. Yeah.
Okay. And we can go smite some evil at the bone mill or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Just put me in front of them and I'll punch them.
And just I'm not entirely sure I'm gonna be 100% accurate to these numbers here, as far as distance.
Oh,
time.
sure.
So bear with me as we kind of figure out, what's fun and what is not.
Sure.
Yeah. And I don't want to bog us down with like random encounters every other hex or whatever it is.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure
All
it out.
that said, though, like I am enjoying this campaign, and I'm sorry for ruining it, like I have been.
You're not ruining it.
You're not ruining it at all. I gave you inspiration for that.
That's true. I just, like, it was just what he said, and I knew he was lying, and I was like, God damn it, you're a bastard. I punched him.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you again. Everybody have a great night. I'm probably going to stop the stream bit now, but
Okay.
talk to you later.
Cool.